Of old mates, Jonathan Brown and Tex Walker.
Big Tex, great to have you here, mate. Big game last week. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good, mate. Obviously, we've had 6 days during the week to recover, so Collingwood had a good win against your old mob up there, so we're looking forward to the challenge ahead. Yeah,
that's right. Now, how do you put that sort of week behind you, but do you also reflect on, I think, was that the best you felt since you'd done your ACL 18 months ago?
Oh, look, I've done my review. I did it early in the week so that you can get over. We have a 24-hour rule that once the game's done, you've got 24 hours to get over it. So I reviewed mine with Teague and, yeah, looking forward to this week. So
you must have felt all right, though, mate, because you left the shirt off. The shirt got ripped off there and you left it off for a good couple of seconds there, mate. So you've had a pretty good preparation.
Yeah, the boys give me a bit of a fine during the week. I had to pay a pineapple for that. So
that's good. You deserve it too, mate, I reckon.
Yeah, but no, obviously having a pre-season under my belt always helps. Last year I didn't have a full pre-season, so sort of trying to catch up with your fitness and recover. So you're weighing that up, but yeah, full pre-season has definitely helped.
Yeah, mate, the influence Phil Walsh has had on you so far.
Yeah, he's been great, mate. He's brought over a wealth of knowledge and I love his edge of hardness. So he's been great for the group and the boys have enjoyed the pre-season under him and looking forward to it tonight.
And what's he impressed upon you as far as your captaincy goes, mate?
Oh, he just said I've got to play my role and continue doing what I'm doing. So if I do that, then everyone else can follow. And if they do that, we have 22 blokes doing that, and it definitely helps.
Jonathan Brown chatting there with Tex Walker as the Adelaide Crows prepare for Collingwood. This game being played at Etihad. You can bet your bottom dollar it'll be a full house and a real test for both sides. Collingwood sluggish early on in their game last week before they got going, and Adelaide, on the other hand, were sensational. Just blew North Melbourne completely out of the water. Now, we can tell you that Greg is the sub here for the Adelaide Crows. As they come into Etihad Stadium, the roof, as you can see, is closed sensibly. But a big test. There's Big Jacobs. The danger man, no doubt will be a danger man once again. Eddie Betts. But Philip Walsh has got them moving extremely well at the moment. The season's only early, but it's a bit like the feeling at the Western Bulldogs. There's a great feeling within the Adelaide club at the moment, and that's exactly the same feeling at the Western Bulldogs. A lot of love about it. But this will be a good test. Collingwood will throw absolutely everything at them. They'll be keen to continue on their winning way. We've got the Pies rooms here at the moment. They've had their problems with injuries and lost players. They've had to regroup. They've got a lot of young guns that are learning by experience. But we know that Nathan Buckley is fiercely determined to get this outfit up and on the go. They will miss Steele Sidebottom, there's no doubt about that, out with that broken thumb. But you can only put 22 out there and they can do the job. Collingwood Army is back here in force as the Pies come out, led by their great leader in Scotty Pendlebury. What a wonderful servant he has been, a marvellous player. Jamie Elliott, the shortest high flyer in the game. And they're about to break through the banner to the cheers of the Collingwood Army. And we will then be just about set to go. Coming up shortly, it is Collingwood and the Adelaide Crows. Welcome back. Should be a great atmosphere at Etihad Stadium with the roof closed, the crowd building all the time, and two very, very competitive sides. And we've got a top commentary team in action there behind the microphone as well. David King is on the boundary. Right now we join Jonathan Brown, Dermot Brereton, and calling all the action, Dwayne Russell. Take it away, Dwayne.
Thanks, Sandy. Pleasure to be here at Etihad Stadium today. Got a couple of gurus with me. The 5-time premiership star, Dermot Brereton, 3-time premiership star with the Brisbane Lions, Jonathan Brown. And we've just seen one of Collingwood's all-time greats, Peter McKenna, out on the oval as well. Good crowd here. There's
my first idol.
Your first idol?
My first idol, perhaps the greatest exponent of the drop punt the game has ever seen.
And kicked 100 plus 10 times in his career, which is phenomenal, including 143 in 1970. Collingwood lineup. Let's hope Cloak can get on the end of a few today.
Well, they did get on the board nice and early last week. They almost got run down. It was pretty tiring. I think the humidity took a bit out of the Magpies. They're going to have to come up with 4 quarters today. Cloak, White, Elliott form the backbone of their forward line scoring potential. But if you looked up the top end at the back line, Nathan Brown and Jack Frost are going to have their work cut out to stop Big Tex Walker and his sidekicks.
Yes, and Adelaide, probably the most impressive winners along with Hawthorn last week for Adelaide. Daniel Talia will get the matchup on Travis Cloak. Really looking forward to that. Got a fantastic midfield, Dangerfield, Sloan, Douglas and Jacobs. And of course, the potent Adelaide forward line led by the Big Tex Walker, who absolutely dominated last week. Have a look at him, 6'4", about 105 kilos. Looks like Wayne Carey reincarnated. Look at his involvements last week. 9 marks inside 50. You'd be happy if your whole team had that on the day. 14 score involvements and 177 ranking points. If they had the ranking points around, you would have seen numbers like that for Dermot Brereton in your heyday, Dermot.
that is a domination, those stats. That's like an opening bowler taking 9 for. It is just completely dominating the opposition.
It is. Looking forward to today. We've got 2 great key forwards out, and of course Travis Cloak down the other end.
Well, we talk about domination. This bloke has bullied full backs for the last 5 or 6 years. He's another man mountain. Perhaps didn't have his greatest year last year. Let's have a look how he got his possessions last week. You see a lot of them outside 50. Comes right up to the wings. I like that as long as he can get back. If he can get back, look right at the goal square right-hand end. He's got 3 really close to goal. So if you can turn your opponent into a mindset where he says, am I chasing him or am I pushing or shoving, he starts to get a little bit of fragility in the mind of the key backman.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Good to see. And I think all the good centre forwards need to set up their game with early work rate. And I'm sure we'll see Tex and Big Clokey get to work and push up to the wings and get some marks early on.
Toss of the coin coming up. New Colt figure, hero, the captain, Taylor Walker and Scott Pendlebury for the coin toss. And the coin being used today, part of the official Anzac coin collection from the Royal Australian Mint. Only available with the Advertiser, Herald Sun and other News Corp newspapers from this weekend. A great way to remember and celebrate the Anzac story. So Taylor Walker winning the toss. He will kick left of screen. Many people still finding their seats, and on the boundary side for us this afternoon will be the 2-time premiership star from North Melbourne, David King. Welcome to you, Kingy.
Thanks, Dwayne. Great to be here. The Crows, everything seems to be going their way. Winning the toss there, as you saw with Tex Walker. This venue holds no fears for them. They've won 3 of their last 5 here at Etihad, and the opposition hold no fears. Last year, they beat them both times convincingly, once at the Adelaide Oval and once at the MCG. They need to improve their matchups today. They need to get the matchup of Patrick Dangerfield 100% correct. He was the wrecking ball last week, and he got the Crows midfield off to a flyer. 25 disposals. He was the clearance beast we know that he is, but forward of centre was where he did his damage. Last year against the Pies, in round 9, he had 32 disposals. Round 18, 32 again, and grabbed all 6 Brownlow votes in 2014. Who will his opponent be today? Who will that matchup be, Brownie? Will it be a defender? Will it be a midfielder? Will they go all the way with him? They have to find a way to stop the Adelaide wrecking ball.
No, it's a good point, King. I think Tyson Goldsack could get it. Got Ali there. Young Adams done a pretty good job in Brisbane last week against Beams, but he might be a little bit too small for Patrick Dangerfield. It's a really tough matchup, those big, strong midfielders, Derm.
I'm plotting Tuvey. He's got really good foot speed. He's a backman, and I think he'll let him go into the midfield, but he'll look to get him every time he comes forward. So Tuvey gets a lot of tough jobs. I tell you what, it is one arduous task ahead. I got a feeling the Heat really took some sting out of the Magpies last week. Let's hope they can get to the line, the full, complete 4 quarters.
Ball in the middle. Both teams coming off round 1 wins. Both teams missed the finals last year and want the perfect start to 2015, and we're underway. Wobbly bounce, favoured Jacobs. Grundy gets a clearance of sorts. Farko quick in off the square, gave that to Swan. Umpire was aware of it.
Looks like Alice Yeoman has been set for Swanee. Just for the first few seconds, he trailed him pretty hard around that centre bounce.
Hush falls over Etihad Stadium in a great buzz in this atmosphere here for all of us pre-game. Sloan heads wide. High ball inside 50. Dangerfield almost outmarked by Pendlebury. That's a great head-to-head at the moment. Pendlebury breaks clear. Oxley, little 1-2. And he pumps it. Jesse White up. Caught behind. Hardigan did well. Got front spot. Raked it in. Laird jumped on.
Fell in it. You don't mind that early. He's keen to lay the tackle. A little bit exuberant.
Laird felt the contact and went forward. Ellis Yeoman here, and good hands. He's got some good height.
Good young player, Dwayne.
Good size.
A really good NAB Cup as well. A NAB Challenge, sorry.
4th year on the Adelaide list, so it's been a long wait. Heads wide. Walker couldn't take the mark.
Interesting to see young Jack Frost got the match up on Tex Walker early on. That's a really big one, probably the biggest of his career to date.
Started the season on the rookie list. Again, Jack Frost, and yet played every game last season. Oxley.
Dangerfield's gone forward, and Tuvi's gone to him straight away. Goal square.
Okay, landing kick smothered. Elliott had a piece of it, lost it. Henderson, Lynch, stand start, bangs it forward. Dangerfield down there. Tuvi in the middle of them. To go and get his own punch ball and collects it on the move at full tilt. Laird, front spot. Gathers his own crumb. Cheney. It's a hot start. Brown. Got a few options inboard. Douglas. Coming off a 31 possession game last week. He was a star as well. Most possessions for Adelaide. Jacobs. Henderson, who can kick a long ball. Goes wider. Worked it well. Smith.
One of the best kicks in the competition, this guy. He'd love to be on the end of him term as a forward. All-Australian last year, of course.
Darts it, doesn't he?
All 22 games last year was outstanding. And could he go the journey here? Gives it a lot. He doesn't quite give it the accuracy.
What's noticed? David King down on the bench. Josh Jenkins has started on the bench. They haven't tried to exploit a size matchup in their forward line at the moment. They're going to try and get a mismatch during general play.
Just looks like they're trying to get some run going, get their fast ball movement patterns up and flying, and this is going to be a fast game. This is going to be a quick game today.
Pendlebury wide to Grundy, and good battle between he and Jacobs this afternoon, you would think.
Really looking forward to that matchup. Brodie Grundy was fantastic against the Lions last week. Of course, Jacobs, nearly all-Australian last year. 2 terrific younger ruckmen.
He ran out of puff last week, Brodie Grundy. 10 possession first quarter, none in the last quarter when they were pretty keen for him to get 1 or 2. Oxley's kick, quick, Jench.
Third time, Collingwood have gone over the centre and the forward has been caught behind.
Jench wide to Henderson, having an impact early. Jench. Hardigan. Cheney.
It's important for Hardigan to take over from Ben Rutten as that key defensive post along with Daniel Talia.
Danger, Brown. Pendlebury. He's had plenty of it early.
Great kick.
Goes to the pass, and it's a perfect lead. Elliott looks up. And Goldsack in front. Bounced kindly for him. Tucked into the pocket. Went back for Varco. Missed him. So glad he was shoulder, but left the ball behind. Brown of the Adelaide version went and got it to Smith to Walker. Van Berlo. And again, the play on quickly. Smith runs on. Pokes it long inside 50. Eddie Betts is down there. Dangerfield's down there. Dangerfield lands like a cat, but he's wrapped up quickly and jumped on. And dumped again. Is it ball? Did he have it too long?
One of the real positives for Collingwood's defence is young Ben Sinclair. Came across off his man there to spoil Patrick Dangerfield. Good effort. He's one of the good young Collingwood defenders.
Yeah, no prior there for Dangerfield. Wasn't ball at all. Douglas flicked it down, and he had prior, according to the umpire.
Gee, that's a real interesting one, Brownie. Going with Frost against Tex Walker first up. I really thought that Nathan Brown was the matchup on that one.
I think they might be a little bit concerned about Nathan Brown's turning ability. Tex likes to get his men up the ground, turn them around, get them back close to goal. Frost, I think, is a little bit more agile than Brown.
Broomhead got it from Pendlebury, kicks it long, not long enough, but not straight enough. And it bounced out of play in front of Goldsack.
Getting enough footy at the moment, the Magpies. It's only 1 point the difference, but every time they've kicked the ball over the centre into their half of the ground, they haven't really gone inside forward 50 yet. They just haven't done it to advantage.
Kind of count that as an inside 50, but they haven't had a possession inside 50 just yet. Ball out of play.
It's definitely been an area that's let Collingwood down the last 12 to 18 months is their kicking skills. Again, last week against Brisbane, their kicking was poor. They'll be looking to improve it on a fast deck here at Etihad today.
Grundy front spot. Broomhead did well. Got it on the boot. It's a little wide. We know a few of these Adelaide players quite well. Tim Broomhead, South Australian, from North Haven. Port Adelaide SANFL player before he was drafted. Yench. Jacobs and Grundy and a couple to beat. Pendlebury jumped in the middle and Jacobs the handball. Missed Douglas. Good scramble. Ellis Yeoman and jumped on. Free. Henderson again. Takes off immediately. Dangerfield wants it to the side. It's in front for the bounce. Good half volley. To be right with him again. Pendlebury throws that back and gets away with it. Crowd enjoyed that. The Collingwood fans. Holding the man. Free kick off the ball and it's going to Jesse White. Just some excitement, some atmosphere in it Etihad at the moment. Pump the volume right up here pre-game Collingwood. Cloak.
Good sign. Coming up, meet the footy early.
Watch for Elliott.
Elliott wants to go up. He's under it. He might pounce on the crumb. He wanted the big lead.
He did, didn't he? He was just running the little half circle around the back. He gets it.
Got a fist to that.
He gets a touch to it.
Yeah.
They used to play that throwing all the time. They've relaxed the rules a bit, haven't they, Dwayne?
Yeah, you have to punch the ball from the palm of your hand. Even if the palm of your hand is moving at the time, it's okay. Laird to Douglas.
Gee. Good pressure.
Well, that's Collingwood's MO, isn't it? Their forward pressure. When Collingwood are playing well, they apply immense forward pressure. They get a lot of goals from those forward half turnovers. They've started the game really well in that regard. Just got to finish off now.
Big kick this for Oxley.
It's good size, isn't he? 193 centimetres.
Across the face. Stays in. Right. Swan. Crisp got a toe on it. Kept it in front. Went back. Got it. Crowd wanted in the back against Walker. Don't get it. McKay. Cheney. Goldsack. About 15, 20 players around this court at the moment. And we'll get a ball up.
Brody Grundy gave the big shove there to Sauce. Just pushed him up. That's good. You're the ruckman. Throw your weight around.
Douglas standing on the right side of the pack. Lynch got there. Oxley hassled him off it. Might go for home. To Wobbler and Broomhead's marked that. Well, he thought he did. The umpire didn't like it. Brown thought he did. Oh yeah. Ray Chamberlain right on the spot. Intensity's up. Adams got the handball out but couldn't find a teammate.
See, from this distance out, 35, 40 metres out from goal, Cloak runs back to the spine, 10, 15 metres out from the goal square, forcing space between the pack and that full forward zone.
Van Burlow's kick smothered, then he climbs on Adams. Again, it's congested, but there's plenty of space ahead. Walker kicks into the space. Dangerfield down there. He's got a couple to beat. Frost, a little fumble. Eddie Betts hunting him. Dangerfield got it out. Marley Williams a scrambling kick and we'll get a ball in.
Be interesting here with Tuvey having the pace to go with Dangerfield.
Yes.
Just wonder how Dangerfield will play this. He's a beast, but he's not going to get it all on his terms.
Intensity is right up at the moment as Wright is dragged down.
I think Tuvey will have no problems in going on the lead, but in the one-on-one contest, that'll be the test. Danger's very strong in those situations, although Tuvey's not poor in that area either.
Yeah, he's a good spoiler.
Wright, straight up in the air, play on, not 15. Sloan to Dangerfield, so he gets a touch here on him. Kick not so good though. Stands on its end for Langdon. Oh, brilliant. Kept his composure.
The difference at the moment, Derm and Brownie, it looks like the Crows can find targets between that 50 to 70 metres from goal, whereas the Pies have only got a couple of options, and one of those is Cloak, who I know you like to see high and roaming, but they need multiple options.
Dangerfield again to Ellis Yeoman, tried the shimmy. Back to Dangerfield, scrambles inside 50. Eddie Betts, Marley Williams, Eddie tried to nudge Marley under the ball. Still alive, Tuvey, caught. Didn't have Pryor. And a quick toss in the air as well. Smith, Crouch screaming for ball, and it's back out of play. High-class contest right now, still yet to get a goal. Halfway through this opening term, the Collingwood chant rings around Etihad Stadium. It's a home game that's not really at their home. Varco, but the crowd have come. Broomhead to Tuvey. Into the crowd.
They're just letting Collingwood down at the moment, their kicking skills.
Yep.
Just tidy that area up.
43%. It's way off it.
Talia sits it up. Walker's down there. Langdon's down there. Walker got a hand on it. Tuvey, well, he wanted to run it out. Eddie Betts. Oh, my goodness. Don't try that at home. That is phenomenal.
It's amazing, that deja vu feeling. He got it into his hands, and you see him lay the hold on the ball to lay it across the boot for the check side, and you immediately thought, oh, we've been here before.
Well, you'd have to be one of the best small forwards in the comp. Any guy that can kick close to 50 goals as a small forward is worth their weight in goal.
But he's hassled it off his opponent.
Playing for him.
Well, directionally, that is the Eddie Betts pocket.
Yeah. He's disarmed his opponent there, taking the ball from him, and then delivered that within 1 or 2 seconds.
That was stunning. Douglas wide. Henderson, they're coming at him. He beelines the ball, kept it in front. Christ takes it to the line. They'll take that as a clearance from the centre all the way inside 50.
Both clubs are got a man loose behind the footy. For Adelaide, it seems to be McKay at the moment. Just trying to set up their attacking play through that extra number behind the ball.
Ellis Yeoman centres it. Oh, gee, crunch. He got the double cannon. Smith's probably the same range out that he was before when he had a shot. Henderson.
He can kick this, Dwayne. He is a huge kick of a football. If he settles himself here and goes back.
See, Dangerfield came up to give the Shepherd just to eat off a metre or two.
Quick play in.
I think they'll certainly look to use Dangerfield forward a fair bit, Dwayne, and they'll use Jenkins to play through the forward line, a little bit in the ruck, a little bit on the bench to freshen up before he comes on for his ruck time.
Jesse White. Good punch, Ellis Yeoman. Jenkins couldn't half volley it. Dangerfield put his head down. Pendlebury, 7th possession for him, 8 now. Oxley. Corral. Swan.
Brownie, I don't think this is a bad start for Collingwood. When you look at the Adelaide Crows last week, they were able to score 21 goals. They had 35 shots at goal. So to go 10 minutes and only be 1 goal down, I think they'll find this start pretty effective.
Dangerfield again. Jenkins. Lynch. Oh, well worked. Henderson. He's bumped on the kick. Frost. Took Dangerfield's legs out. It was okay. He was attacking the ball and he maybe had it in his hands as he went down. Lynch. Walker's in the pocket. Oh, that's a mongrel, and Dangerfield fortuitously just got it.
Just while he lines it up, Kingy, to answer that, I agree with you. 22-23 contested possession, so they're not getting beaten up around the footy. They look like they're well up for it in the physical capabilities. They just aren't kicking it well enough and to their own advantage when they do win it.
Well, they haven't got a lot of well-credentialed kickers coming out of the back line. And against this vaunted Adelaide press that we've spoken about over the first couple of weeks, you need good kickers with good composure.
So best on ground in both games against Collingwood last year. That's his 7th possession so far today, Patrick Dangerfield.
He's the sort of guy that can kick you 30 goals a year, I reckon, as a full forward or part-time full forward. Dermy as well, Patrick Dangerfield.
No doubt. Good match up there, good spot by Marley Williams coming in. He saw Grundy only had Brodie Smith as his match-up for the long ball. Stay in just for the Magpies. Touch and go on the 15 as well. They're flaunting it again.
That one was on the full.
Yeah.
Bit off more than they could chew there. Sloan to the pocket. A little too wide for Walker.
Just been a little bit untidy from both sides early. Dwayne, the kicking skills. We've talked about Collingwood kicking skills being poor in the last 12 months, but I think Adelaide will be a little bit disappointed too with their skills at the moment.
Fair enough to call that one in.
There is a lot of pressure out there. High intensity game. Grundy front spot. Jenkins. Grundy. Dangerfield again. Bends it. And almost got it. Equal highest possession winner on the ground at the moment. Patrick Dangerfield, 8 possessions, playing at a full forward and being tagged.
Struggling to get it further than the wing at the moment, the Magpies. Now they're a shot.
It's got to compose here. 2 on 2 ahead of the footy.
Jesse White the target. He just misread that in the air.
Slow to pick up the flight.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great call that you misread it. Slow to pick up the depth of the flight.
Used this ball bounce by Dangerfield. Now, I'll tell you what, Shane Warne would have been happy with that. Well, he leg braked it straight through the goals.
That would have been his wrong.
Grundy, little palm down. Adams shrugged the first one. Didn't succeed with the second one.
Did he get a hit on it?
Looked like he half handballed it. Yeah,
As long as time was up because he chose to take on the first tackle.
It's tough this year.
That was hot.
I think it's been good though, Dwayne.
Jacobs, yeah. I think the fans have enjoyed it. Ellis Yeoman. It's been less grey area this year at least.
Yep.
Oh, he sat that on Douglas's head and he still nearly got it. Langdon tried to take it out. Eddie Betts. Centering kick. Ledge under it. Almost landed. Varco. Ramsey. Williams. Right. Put it to grass. Laird. Yench. Had right free. Goes for Walker. Hands on it. Couldn't bring the mark down. Still alive though. Centering kick from Laird. Eddie Betts might jump. He can't get near it. Frost thumps it to the boundary.
Really great to watch this Adelaide press live. In that situation, when Collingwood were trying to bring it out, all the Adelaide players were within 60 metres of their goal. So it'd be very difficult for a Collingwood defender when he looks up. It'd be panic stations because there's not many Collingwood players free.
Sloan. The whole half almost is full of Collingwood and Adelaide players just trying to block this in. Almost every player on the field there waiting for this kick in. And the game being played in Adelaide's half right now. Jacobs.
Good battle.
Sloan. Broomhead. Pendlebury.
He's so clever, isn't he?
Cheney. Ramsey. Adams. Broomhead. Pendlebury. Okay, they're out. Elliott. They've got the overlap runner now. Can they find him? It's for Solo. He waited a long time, but he's still got it.
So that's 2 times in a row now. Elliott now for Solo. They're just too slow to get it on.
Jesse White. Dane Swan. Tucked into the boundary. Went for Cloak. Rolls across the face.
Yeah, Kingy, that happened in front of you. Jamie Elliott did a little bit of a dance. He could have got it on quicker, and they would have been running with absolute freeness into the forward 50.
Got to go instantaneously here against the Crows. Their defensive work rate spot on.
Jesse White, the Man Mountain, misses.
He's a big physical beast, isn't he, Dan?
Yeah.
That's what you love when he really attacks the footy. Uses his body around those stoppages. It's going to be hard for the Adelaide defenders to stop that.
As long as he utilises it.
That's right.
Hardigan finds Walker.
Found a way to hang in here, Collingwood. 14 inside 50s to the Adelaide Crows for a 1-goal 5 return. They're just hanging in. Next goal critical.
Bucks will be really happy with the effort at the moment, King.
They're picking their way through this Collingwood zone though at the moment, Adelaide. Laird, Dangerfield, Walker tumbles it. Eddie Betts under it. Blair. Not a lot to go to. Ramsey caught just in time.
Good umpiring.
Williams hassled. Cloak comes down to lend a hand.
Well done. One thing I've noticed then, Kingy, is they found a way to hang in because unlike the Crows who put that press up, Collingwood are actually getting in the face, pressuring the ball carrier and trying to get them to rush their kick or sky their kick. And then they're getting big numbers back when the ball's lived in Adelaide's forward line. So then once again, the smother, the in-the-face pressure of the ball carrier.
Smith tries to get into space. Walker. Laird, good fly. Oxley, good crumb. For Solo. Pendlebury. Brown. Ramsey. Oxley. Oh, the half volley. Back to Brown. Panic kick.
No get-out options up the line here.
Oh, Dangerfield was penalised there.
It's a bump. Yeah, he just worked him off the drop of the ball. That's the new rule, Dwayne.
Yep.
If you are the third man in the contest and you elect not to go for the ball, watch Dangerfield. He eases him away from the drop. Still gets a hand on it. But Dangerfield had no intention of going for that ball, only to take his opponent out of the contest.
It's only a minor touch of the arm, but that's what they're paying this year. Jacobs, good hands. And immediately plays on. Van Berlo. Overcooked the kick, but they've got the numbers. Jenkins says to Ellis Yeoman, shepherd for me. I've got seniority. Centering kick. Eddie Betts with 3 to beat. Sinclair.
It's good in the air for a small defender, Sinclair.
Danger. Crisp. Caught. Fantastic tackle. Walker. Dangerfield. No free. Shrugs one. Gets it up. Lynch. Gets it up. Walker.
Fumble.
Pressure continues. Jenkins had a piece of it. Frost's got it. Tries to give it up just in time. Still a chance, Ellis Yeoman. Now Broomhead. Intensity goes up another gear. It's 11 on the dial right now. Brown gives it up. Smith stands start. Absolutely awesome.
There was no big mark. There was no 70-metre goal, but that is a wonderful 60 seconds of footy, Brownie.
Yes, the pressure's fantastic, wasn't it? A lot of guys probably went through 10, 12 sets of hands, and there was a lot of rush kicks. Eventually, probably the best kick out on the field, Brodie Smith had to show him how it was done. Great finish off one step. Probably best right footer in the comp, I think. You'd argue that Suckling for Hawthorn's the best left footer, and I reckon you can make a strong case for Brodie Smith as the best right footer.
Geez, doing some damage, Brodie Smith. 11 possessions, running at 83%, and already kicked 1 goal 1.
Sloan. Dangerfield now in the middle. Didn't quite pick that up and run. Douglas. Yench. And now the run. Cameron kept it in front and kept going. What happened there? Sinclair's done a hammy. He's popped a hammy for sure to give that up. Lynch. Sidestep was beautiful. Oh, the grace. Oh, the poise. They've got the only 3 of the game.
Yeah, he's definitely gone, I'd say, young Sinclair, and that's a big loss. I think he's one of the young up-and-coming defenders. Collingwood remain happy with his progress, but he's gone for the game, I'd say.
Yeah, he's done. He's done, boys. Straight downstairs. He knew that left hamstring was gone as soon as he tried to put some power through it there. You can just see him pull up sharply, straight downstairs. We won't see him again.
This is heartbreaking for Collingwood. They've put in a really good effort in this first quarter, but no reward on the goals on the scoreboard, and quite often we see it. The other side goes down and gets some momentum, and they're away now, Adelaide.
Knock on. Williams to Swan, so they're down a man. Seedsman is their sub. And Cloak gets a little arm knock.
Needs to go quickly here.
Sits it up. Elliott's not there. Fasolo's there. Broomhead nearly plucked it out, Jacobs. The cavalry was there for Adelaide. Brown, Van Berlo, Ellis Yeoman got one hand on it and pounced again on the crumb. And it opens up beautifully for Sloan. Here we go. Oxley chases him. Kick towards half forward. Pass Walker, Langdon. They are under siege right now, Collingwood. Turnover again. Douglas full of run. Kick wasn't good. Turvey dumped.
That's a shame for young Ben Sinclair. He missed last year between rounds 3 and 8 with a hamstring. Tried to come back a couple of times through the VFL and re-injured 2 more times. So he's got an ongoing problem there. That's desperately unfortunate.
Henderson, Laird, pushed in the back. Okay, it's okay. For Solo.
Should be interesting. Don't fumble it. Ooh, good boy.
Talia. Just so many numbers to go to. Laird inboard. Hardigan, he's got an option that he can go to as a get out. It's McKay, and he's got an option wide that can run. Van Berlo. Jenkins.
Just a little fatigue has crept in the last 3 minutes. And the Crows have capitalised on that.
So Seedsman to come on. He's the sub. And Ben Sinclair done for the afternoon, and as Dermot said, so many hamstring issues over his career. It might be a tough year for Ben Sinclair to come back from that.
I know there's no blessing in disguise when a boy gets injured, but Seedsman can cover the ground, and that's what they need at the moment.
Jenkins can't bend it back.
He's a good running athlete.
He is.
Yeah.
Their biggest problem at the moment, Derm, is that hacked kick out of the defensive 50. The Crows are pushing and pressing right up the ground. That's going straight to a half-back flanker or a wingman type, just hovering around the 50-metre arc. They've got to be more daring on counterpunch.
And top of that, they've also got to divide the resources of Cloak and White to be a target on either wing for that kick.
10 seconds. Can Collingwood steal a goal here? Cloak continues to run. He doesn't know how long left. 2, 1. Varco, it's up to him. Did he get it free?
Front pressure. The pressure player, Brodie Smith, was not looking at the ball. He was looking at the opponent, and he made contact. Any form of contact, watch it here, any contact is a free kick.
And Varco had run past the footy, so he probably didn't need to do it. But I'll tell you what, Collingwood need this desperately to give them some hope, because they lost all hope in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and they look like with that hope went that energy as well.
Philip Walsh on the boundary, just his 2nd game as an AFL coach. Travis Varco. Just his 2nd game for Collingwood. That's what he has ahead of him. You've got the best seat in the house at home. And I hope you're enjoying this contest if you're at home in SA, because every Adelaide Crow fan would have thoroughly enjoyed that. They are a long way to confirming their round 1 form. Adelaide at quarter time at Etihad Stadium by 22 points. It's been spectacular in terms of its pressure, and it was also spectacular in the way Adelaide turned that pressure into scores. Kept Collingwood goalless, 2 behinds to the Magpies at home here at Etihad. Adelaide 3-6-24, and it was Collingwood who started so well last week, and Adelaide in their wins, and yet it was the Adelaide Crows with the super fast start this week that has put Collingwood on the ropes early.
They certainly lacked a little bit of composure, Collingwood. That was caused a lot by Adelaide's pressure. Problem for Collingwood, their defenders, they've been plucky. They're having a crack, but Tuvey, Frost, Sinclair, who unfortunately knows hamstring, Langdon, Brown and Ramsey are not known for their great kicking skills or their great composure, and certainly having to bomb it out of their defence every time, and that way Adelaide are able to then set up.
Let's go downstairs to David King.
Well, it's pretty obvious, Dwayne, that that's the problem at the moment, as Brownie just said. They've had 18 opportunities to go from their defensive 50 forward, the Collingwood Football Club, and haven't got one inside 50 yet. So it just shows you where they're breaking down. Derm, that may be a problem for a lack of target. Is it White? Is it Cloak? Or just the ball use out of the back half? That's the concern for Nathan Buckley.
Second term underway. Grundy in the ruck again against Jacobs.
One thing I will say about the half forwards, in this case scenario, this scenario, if you're on the Collingwood side, you have to structure your game right now around a worst case scenario of the ball coming forward, and that means supplying a target for your backmen who are under pressure and looking to come forward, rather than thinking I want to get attacking and get to the real dangerous spots.
Smith to Lynch to Walker. Perfection again.
Just lost him, Frosty. Just got drawn a little bit forward of his opponent.
Thanks, mate. Just hold out there.
Good kick by Lynch.
Super.
We spoke about this pre-game, Derm, that Lynch's, Walker, you know, he's pretty quick, but not super fast, but he's got terrific lateral movement. When the ball's kicked in his area, he can move from side to side very well.
The more he kicked it, I'm going to have a chat about him after this kick too, Tom Lynch.
Kicked 6 goals, 5 last week.
Just while they reload this one, Tom Lynch is a real good link person between the back line and deep forward. He's a forward who presses up to the wings and gets those little lead-up marks, turns around and can use the ball to really good advantage, such as that occasion.
Adelaide putting the numbers up to keep this ball in their half. Most of the first term was played in their half. Ellis Yeoman.
Good strength.
Van Berlo. Umpire said he got a handball away. Grundy tried to get it out. Oxley gives it to Van Berlo, who's jumped on. Dangerfield, Douglas. Players everywhere. Laird. And that's a little astray.
Let's have a look at this press now. The Crows apply. Cloak and White at the top of your screen are going to try and drag back to force their opponents to come with them.
Smith again here. And another cracking kick to the hot spot. Dangerfield down there. Tuvey's fist wins.
They need to go back to the future, these guys. They need to go for a big barrel down the middle. Get it out of that back 50. Fight the fight 70 from goal.
Okay, score review. Yeah. We believe the ball hit the outside of the goalpost. We want to confirm. Score review. Umpire's call as it hits the post. Please confirm.
Review underway.
I think they might have. It's a funny camera angle, that, but
I'm trying to work out what we do now if it didn't, because it can't just be play on. If it didn't hit the post and it hasn't crossed the entirety of the line, it's play on.
Correct. It didn't go completely to the outside. I reckon it's hit the post, but not making the call.
So what do we do if it's not?
Confirm behind.
call play on. That'll be funny. Let's put the pressure on the Collingwood bloke.
Okay.
You find a ball up for it somewhere.
Actually, a ball up might actually have occurred there. All right, there's the thickness.
Look at the squeeze down on them.
Oxley tries a thump, and out of play might be a win here for Collingwood. Pendlebury.
You saw Cloak in shot.
White. All right, they're out.
1-on-1's out of the footy here.
Elliott's under it. Yench with him. Little piece of arm. Gold sack. Splendid tackle, Cheney.
Gee, that was a good spoil by Yench.
Yeah.
If that ball's coming in a one-on-one and Elliott gets a run-up and a jump, you're probably going to back Elliott in 7 times out of 10.
Tough matchup, isn't he, Elliott, for most sides?
Yep. You have to go small because of his agility, but if he goes small, he's going to mark the ball higher off the ground than his small opponent.
They're going to need him today because
Blair.
Travis Cloke and Jesse White are going to have to get up the field, give the Collingwood defenders something to kick to, maybe use Elliott as a deeper forward.
Smith run out for Solo. He's dropped it into attack with Ellis Yeoman. Little toe poke. Marley Williams half held, flick out. Laird rolls it. Here's the scramble. Varco. Well, here's the sub. Seedsman bends it around. Goal line. No free. And not content to take it through Hardigan. He could have taken that through. Maybe to his detriment. Goldsack wrapped up. Taken out.
Disappointing there. The Collingwood Crummers, although Cloke done a really good job, he was in a 2v1 in the goal square. Cloke was able to bring the ball to the front, but the Collingwood Crummers ran to the back of the contest. Can't ask much more from your key forward there.
Jacobs and Grundy. Grundy again. Jacobs again. Just a handball. Henderson. Collingwood have numbers behind the ball, so Frost almost caught. Just got it away. Oxley.
Hasn't kicked it well. He's had a bit of the ball so far, Oxley. This is possession 13. Needs to hit the target.
To Pendlebury, and he does well. It's just his 4th game for Oxley, so a big moment for him.
He might have got a cork buttock out of that.
Gee. Collingwood have already used their sub. If you've just joined us, Jesse White comes hard. Jacobs stands in the hole, took the punishment, got a possession for his trouble. Ellis Yeoman, little fumble, then he's dropped, holding the man.
This is the phase of the game where I think you've got to watch the Adelaide Crows. How quick they flick the switch to now being an offensive runner, an offensive player. Their forward line almost falls back into a reset mode, and they provide options on the way, and they missed that target there. But their ability, Dermot Brownie, to flick the switch from offence to defence and vice versa is simply amazing.
Just got a little bit more dare at the moment to play on.
They do.
The Crows.
They do. And they'll try and move it pretty quickly. Got some explosive midfielders.
Contest there between two big ruckmen.
Ellis Yeoman wrapped up. Kingy. Philip Walsh obviously helped Port Adelaide develop their game plan last year. How much of Port Adelaide's plan do you see in this?
High speed, that's the number one thing that jumps out. The plan's a little bit different. He probably presses a bit higher.
Inside 50, Laird under it.
And they'll definitely try and shift the ball now, Kingy out of their back half, Adelaide.
He's the extra. Sitting back there in front of Cloke was Rory Laird.
You can just see from that vision there how they try and make the ground bigger. They all spread to the extremities, pull the Collingwood defenders out, and as soon as you get a lazy one, you find yourself on counter-punch pretty quick.
Well, they've got players on here to the open side. He hasn't seen them just yet.
Well done by Collingwood.
Yeah.
To slow the play down.
Really well done.
Grundy.
Oh, yeah, he grabbed a handful at jumper. He was in front, but he did reach back and grab a handful of jumper.
Cragany, little grumpy here.
Oh, hang on.
Jacobs about to be caught. Turnover. Adams, did he get handhandled? He's lucky. So right now, Collingwood have played 36 minutes without a goal.
They're just I sense in the last 90 seconds, Collingwood have come out with a real intention right now to actually hurt the Adelaide body. They're really having a dig here. I know they're not on the board, but this is good.
Can they translate that into their first goal of the afternoon?
Look, Hokie pretending to punch the ball and put a couple into the ribs. Throw it up, Ray. Get them moving. Well done, Razor.
In the congestion. Scramble kick.
I reckon you would have done that, Brownie. pretend to punch the ball, but really, you're just getting your opponent in the guts.
A couple of kidney punches there. Just soften him up a little bit.
And he didn't like it either. Not that you would.
No, not many players in the history of the game have liked it. Grundy.
Oh, new dipper.
Bouncing ball. Laird shovels it out. Yench, good tackle. Wrapped up.
This is good heat by the Magpies. This is real good heat. You want to get on the board, and they need to while they're putting this type of pressure on.
They need to keep the ball in their forward half. They've really struggled bringing it out of their defence, so keep it down this end, and more of a chance to score.
So they've matched Adelaide's heat in this turn. Blair caught high.
Now they're a shot. The little man, the wee man. They need a return.
Big kick, this one.
2 goals, 21 possessions last week. Jarrah Blair against the Brisbane Lions.
Now, a goal or not, the next 90 seconds after this is dangerous, because you've got Tyson Goldsack has come to the bench now. He is the heart and soul of that fire and that fierceness in the forward line.
To break the drought. Crowd wants something to roar for, and they get it.
It's through physical desire, Brownie. They have made the ball live in their own forward line for the last 2-3 minutes.
They have. They've got numbers around the contest. Put a lot more pressure on there. You can see Dane Swan applying some tackling pressure. He hasn't had a lot of the footy, but he's bringing that physicality to the contest. Good last patch for 3 or 4 minutes here for the Pies. Nathan Buckley would be happy with that. Just when it looked like the game was going to slip out of their hands.
He was critical last week, 7 possession last quarter when the Brisbane Lions came at them as well. That was critical.
Jesse White in the ruck.
Good attack. Oh, Seedsman and Dangerfield clashed heads.
Oh, another little shovel throw handball.
Swan with the 1-2 wide. Broomhead. Oxley. Crowd have pumped up the volume here.
Got to hit that target. That's Oxley again. The kid's done really well. Got to hit that target.
Dangerfield, bit of a head clash with that. Ooh, both players. Danger probably come up a little bit early on that one. Bang. Definitely a bit of blood out of that one, I would have thought.
Just above the ear.
Yeah. Contest by the 2.
Henderson, smothered. Swan having an impact now.
See, that kick by Oxley, he dabs that kick over the top. He hits the target. Collingwood are at the top of the goal square now. You just have to hit the target with that type of kick at this level.
They're back in the contest.
Good tell.
Sloan. Dangerfield with some space. Can't hit his target. Cameron, good slick pick on the run. Open space ahead.
Oh,
Ellie's turned him inside out. Lynch turns Brown inside out and should go all the way home for the instant reply.
Well, certainly as a defender there, Nathan Brown made the run, tried to take the front spot, but he allowed the ball over the back, and that is a cardinal sin.
People ask, they say, why do some fullbacks just trail out and take rear position and guard the mark? Because sometimes when you go at it like that,
that's right,
this is what happens.
You had to really kill that footy and smash it back 20, 30 metres. Disappointed with that, Collingwood. Quick reply by Adelaide. Good thing is, though, they've started to balance up in the midfield, the Pies, get a little bit more pressure. Dane Swan starting to find the footy.
Grundy against Jenkins. Eddie Betts. Sloan.
It's a bit of a problem. Sloan coming in off the back of the square is that extra number. They'll have to be careful of that, Collingwood.
Did that last week.
Oxley. Broomhead.
That's what Phil Walsh will use players like Rory Sloan. They know most often they'll get tagged, so they can manipulate the opposition defence. They know probably going to have to match him up, so they can play a 7-man backline sometimes to help their attack.
Good punch, Talia. Collingwood's ball, though, and the run comes. Pendlebury to set it up. One hand. Oh, sidestep around Dangerfield. Delightful. Kick not so. Van Berlo. Talia. Sloan with Swan right with him. And the overlap. Smith. He's wreaking havoc. Keeps it low. Drives it long and just
he is wreaking havoc.
Jeez, he kicks darts, doesn't he? Yeah. Smith. Cool.
You guys, Nathan Buckley at the moment, his problem is in the back pocket.
Oh.
at the goal square at the moment.
Marley Williams scrambles that. Broomhead, Oxley. Ellis Yeoman. Talia. Sloan. Douglas, did he hold it? He did.
Reload, Kingy.
It's exactly what I was going to say. The problem right now for Collingwood is on the way out of their defensive 50. I think it'd be best served to put one of the gun midfielders, just a half-back for 5 or so minutes, just to settle the troops. They're rattled down there. They're turning the ball over at will and just allowing Adelaide to counter-punch with repeat inside 50s.
I'm wrapped for the kid Oxley who's getting the ball. But at the moment, he's giving the Crows a real shot at his possessions.
Problem is, I'm not sure who you put back there, King. You know, maybe for Solo, go back as a smart user.
Struck it pretty well. And he sneaks it in. Biggest lead of the game.
Well, they did it pretty well there, Adelaide. I thought they've set up. They knew they're under a little bit of pressure.
See, that's the Oxley kick.
Yes, at least Cloak's coming up to meet the footy. They just can't hit that get out where they can reset.
As I say, it's a real hard call on the kid on that occasion.
It is.
But if he kicks that well, Cloak marks it.
A lot of the mids starting to find the footy. Smith up to 15, of course, halfback. Alice Yeoman's had 13. Danger's up to 11. Sloan's up to 10. He's had a big quarter.
15 scoring shots to 3. Eddie Betts having a run in the middle and enjoying it. Smith, he's been enjoying it. Possession number 16 coming up for him. Yench.
Phil Walsh definitely looks willing to give guys like Eddie Betts a run in the midfield and send a bounce from time to time. Throw some speed in there. It's tough for that opposition to match up on.
Van Berlo's looked good after missing the entirety of 2014. Slips the pass. Walker. Second grab.
Just on that one.
Oh, he plays on. Waste no time. Delightful. All class.
They've put the foot down here. They've got a couple of openings. They've put the foot down. And their skill in the forward half is actually separating these two teams. Now, let's have a look at Big Tex here. The opponent on that occasion has to go forward of him because of the size disparity, and he runs underneath the footy. Tex gets the second grab on it.
It was a tough matchup, and Tuvey tried to spoil him there, but he's just nowhere near big enough.
Tex keeps wanting to, after an Adelaide goal, wanting to run up to the nearest Collingwood player and bump them. Someday you're going to come up against someone who's just going to hang a right angle elbow out at head height, and he's going to run into it.
It's getting a little dangerous now for Collingwood. Swan. Pendlebury. He was dumped after he dropped it. Sloan.
Jesus, he's had a big quarter, Sloan.
Langdon. Good half volley on the run. Sits it on for Solo's head, and Sloan knocks it out.
There he is there, the man in question. He's been playing as an extra man behind the footy, and Collingwood have had to match him up because he's getting too much of the ball now.
26 possessions, 2 goals last week, so he started 2015 in hot form. Henderson. Eddie. Douglas. She's going to Jacobs for the short pass. Smith. Sloan.
He's got his own footy at the moment, Dwayne.
It's like there's 22 out there. Dangerfield. Spearmen everywhere. Walker led short. He put it to Van Berlo in the middle of 2.
Just
He's had a fair game, this bloke too, as well. Former captain.
Kingy, while we got you down there, we've got Brown, we've got Tuvey, we've got the kid Oxley, and we've got Frost. They're the last 4 defenders. They're the deepest defenders. So when they get the ball there, there's not a good kicker amongst them.
15 gone, mate.
We can't get Collingwood to kick the ball well out of their, well, literally out of their defensive 50.
For a 44-point margin. And there's a few here getting a little restless.
Well, Dermot, that's the problem at the moment, isn't it? They're just down a quality running halfback. And look, you may say we need to keep Pendlebury in the middle, we need to keep Swan in the middle of the ground, we need our class in the forward half, but right now the game's been lost at half-back. I think you've got to throw an Elliott down there, even try the captain there just for 5 minutes, because they're just gifting inside 50 opportunities to the Crows. They've had 28, most of them repeats.
It's Nathan Buckley's 4th year this year. They've gone 4th, 8th, 11th the last 3 years. Neil Baum was behind him.
I like the look of Barmy there. He leant back in the chair as if to say, oh, you take this one, Bucks. This is looking pretty difficult.
He looked as if to say, I've got nothing for you, Bucks, right now. I'd like to, but there's nothing there. Seedsman wide.
They're good. Hang on to it. Now, let's watch the Adelaide Crows players rush back to get coverage in here.
Talia front spot. He took on Cloak and beat him easily. Ramsey. Seedsman.
It's better build-up, though.
Elliott. Jesse White. There's the pluck. Did he hold it long enough?
Yeah,
You bet he did.
I think he did. That's when you want Jesse White, when he's at his best, running and jumping at the ball. He's probably 6'5", 6'6", 105 kilos. He's got a very good spring for a big man. Put it up in his area. I thought it was a good build-up by Collingwood. They didn't rush, took their time. They were able to find Elliott, who had time and space, and was able to then drive it to the top of the goal square, which is a good spot to put it.
They've got 7 minutes left to get some life back before half-time.
The thing I like about that goal, Brownie, is you'll take every goal you can get, but that goal is a structural goal.
Yeah.
It's a kick. He rolls in here.
That's
it's
right.
a kick to a position where you want a key forward to take the mark. Hartigan gets caught for a second, looking at his opponent, taking his eyes off the incoming ball, and loses the flight and the drop of the ball.
And even if he drops the mark, he's probably going to bring it to the front there where all your crummers are, maybe kick a snap goal. Confidence builder for him there.
Luke Ball.
Certainly an area where they need some more from the big forwards. Take a couple of grabs.
Bamberlo started that bounce outside the centre square in the back line.
Dangerfield freakish again there. All scrambled out. Sloan. Good collect on the run. They got a handball before they could get him. Cheney got it from Henderson. Nice blind turn. Back to Sloan. Right. Jenkins. Crisp.
Good support run there.
Oxley.
No get-out options here, Collingwood. This is where Cloak's got to get up the field.
Crisp. 6 minutes to half-time.
Cloak comes up. He's kicked it over his head. No, all right, it's gone for Grundy.
Got a hand on it. Dangerfield was right on the spot. Oh, bang. Barco took McKay down.
But even that one, Dwayne, when he selected Grundy as the target player, there were two crumbing players of Adelaide at his feet, none from Collingwood there. He probably had to use that ball shorter and honour the lead by Cloak to make 100% surety of retaining the footy.
Crisp a wobbler, and it doesn't stay in.
Adelaide are very disciplined and manning up straight away. So Collingwood turns the ball over. The Adelaide players will man up. They'll take out those dangerous longer options. Very disciplined at the moment in the first 2 weeks of the new coach's regime under Philip Walsh at Adelaide.
Talia. Ellis Yeoman felt for contact. Varco outmarks him. Blair.
Got a handball at
Jesse turn around, he's running away from them.
Langman looks up. He's got White. White's in position 1A. Not quite. Needs to spin and kick. He had a handball option. Set it on for Solo's head for way too long.
Just a little...
Jeez, I tell you what, I like the look of this young Alice Yeoman. He's a big midfielder, isn't he?
He's got good stretch too. Not only is he big, he actually can mark the ball high off the ground when it gets up there in
Strong
the
tackle
midfield.
there.
Yeah.
Third game for Ellis Yeoman. 4th year on the list. Dangerfield. What was it wide? So he's got some experience in terms of years, if not in terms of games. Ellis Yeoman. Crisp sits it up. Goldsack played for the free. Cheney played for the ball.
See, Jesse White, when he ran back to the goal square, that last incoming ball, he was too slow to look around. That's football awareness. He should have kicked a goal that time.
Van Berlo up. Langdon did well. Crisp. Cloak caught behind again.
Well done by Taylor, just to keep Cloak out of the contest there.
Danger. Here's Collingwood's chance. Cloak. He just missed Jesse White with a handball and he overruns it. Back in. Throws it out. Still alive. Sidestep was a little wobbler. Seedsman free kick.
Twice there, the big forwards for Collingwood have just been sloppy with their hands.
And 50.
Yeah.
First White, then Cloak missed a handball. Certain, at least shots on goal, missed there.
Nathan Buckley right now thinking about what he's going to say at half-time.
It's never been good below his knees, though, Jesse. He needs it to pop up.
Great pass. Talia on the run. Over the back. Rory Sloane knocks it on. Oxley. Danger. Eddie Betts. Goal line.
Well, he still saw Rory Sloane. Marley Williams recognised he was going to be a half-second late, so we levelled the shoulder into the ribcage of Rory Sloane.
Crisp did well. A few rumours floating around Rory Sloane wouldn't play today, but he has obviously taken his place in the 18. Brown half held. Crisp to Swan. He ignored Jesse White. He goes in for solo. Oh, he was bumped. Umpire let it roll. Jacobs. Hardigan.
So I'm with you on that one, Brian. I reckon he had to honour the Jesse White lead. It's the simple kick, and it's the one he would have had a shot from 45-degree angle, but he'd be having a shot. He opted to slant inboard and go for a very difficult spot up to Fasolo, and he had to hit it perfect.
They're out in their feet here.
It's almost,
Aren't they? Aren't they? This is what worried me coming in. The humidity last week that Collingwood played in, and they almost got run down. They're having a dig. Let's have a look at this Rory Sloane bump from Marley Williams. He gets there a half-second later and goes underneath the arm, and that's going to hurt. Oh, yeah.
No, there's nothing in that one. Nothing in that one. He tried to pull out of that contest.
He actually looked after him.
He did.
Brown.
Been different back in your day, Dan. They'd be wiping the blokes. Body
Douglas. Oh, look out. It's on the race. Cameron left it behind. He had 4 players running with him, and he knows he messed up.
This will tell us whether they're completely out on their feet. They need to run and spread now. They get one wide. They have to work hard to the outside, Collingwood.
Elliott.
Timmy Broomhead's got a shot at it.
Broomhead and Laird. Broomhead lets it slip. Talia. Yench. Smaller from Broomhead. Talia still got it from Yench.
So, Kingy, if I'm a Collingwood supporter and I'm reading this game, I'm actually happy with their endeavour. They're not putting it on the board, but they are having a dig. They're really battling to cover the ground with this team. They're good, Adelaide.
Oh, in the contest, they've been brilliant. They actually lead the contested possessions at this stage of the game, but they're getting outworked. I can't believe the change. The first time I've seen the Crows live this year, their change in running patterns and their fitness levels is huge from 2014.
There's been a few teams shocking the competition early this year, but the Adelaide Crows, they look scary on occasions. This week and last week.
Once again, Laird drops off from this contest to stand in front of Cloak.
Smith rolls it off the deck. Pendlebury. Barco.
Good spot.
Crisp.
So that's Varco worked pretty hard to make sure that he got that one out with some sort of direction, Brownie, so that they could come back over his head.
It's one of the few times they've showed a bit of composure playing with the ball in hands.
Can this boy show some composure on the set shot now?
I'm not sure. He's finding a bit of the footy, but this is one area of Jack's game that has let him down. He's worked hard on it the last 18 months.
Second game as a Magpie, and he sprays it.
This is relentless. The running capabilities and the pressure that Adelaide are putting on Collingwood just by making the ball travel fast.
And their organisation as well, the way they defend. They all seem to be able to take up a spot, take up a Collingwood opponent.
It's only early, but this is the team that finished 10th last year, the Adelaide Crows. This is 10th and 11th from last year. Collingwood finishing 11th. Lynch got it out.
That's that lead up from Lynch.
Still a chance here for the Magpies late. 1 minute left. Swan for Solo. Crisp, who owes them one. Adams. Oh, splendid tackle. Play on, he stripped him completely.
He's fatigued.
The footy gods are with Adelaide right now. Smith.
Umpire put his whistle to the mouth, Dwayne, and actually inhaled a breath and then went, no, I'll let it go. He actually put it right there.
Geez, their effort's been good, Collingwood, but God, the kicking's been terrible.
Both teams are giving great effort.
Lynch. Williams. Play on advantage for Solo. Pendlebury, the captain, and it doesn't bend. Everybody letting them down right now. Pendlebury's had 21 possessions for the half, it must be said, but that could have been pivotal. A goal on the siren.
Inside 50s, 22 to 30. 18 scoring shots to 6, so they're actually doing their best to hold them up.
Okay. Dangerfield. They are smoking hot, the Adelaide Crows, coming off a big 10-goal victory in round 1 against North Melbourne. And right now, half-time, away from home, big Collingwood crowd in, the Adelaide Crows making a statement. Still a half of footy left. Well, they lead by 37 points. Back to you, Sandy.
Good on you, Dwayne. Yes, a couple of clubs making statements early on in the season. Hawthorn for one and the Adelaide Crows for another. They lead by 37 points at half-time. When we come back, we're going to check on the other big games being played today. The Giants are celebrating, so too are the Dogs. We'll show and tell you why right after this break.
It's half-time at a packed Etihad Stadium on Jeep Saturday Live on Fox.
Welcome back to Etihad Stadium. Roof on. And the Adelaide Crows at one stage led by 44 points. They led by 37 as we're about to start the second half. Winner of this contest will be undefeated after a couple of rounds. Settle among the top 4 to start the season. First guy out of the stadium never wins the marathon, but it's nice to settle in a good spot in a new year. And that's exactly what the winner of this will do after both teams had wins in round 1.
We've got to look at those defenders there, Dwayne. It's as much importance that they can kick the ball well coming out as they can defend.
Adelaide holding Collingwood to just 2 goals in the opening half. In fact, their lowest score in a half, first half of a game for years. Marley Williams tried to get it up. Can they get a start to the second half to give them some life? Dangerfield. Walker stands under it. Eddie Betts, good crumb, nearly marked it. This will bounce for him. Post.
Geez, he looks fit, doesn't he, Eddie Betts? He's even having a run in the midfield. Talking to a couple of Adelaide insiders, and they reckon he's had the best pre-season yet.
Kicked 4 goals straight last week, and he has looked extremely lively, even though he's only got 1 so far this week. Cloak had a big piece of that. Talia, arms free. Lynch. Time to spend it, and Walker on the run.
Tex saw that get into Adelaide hands 2 possessions before the kicker delivered to him, and just started drifting up the spine. And poor Frosty, just for that 1 to 1.5 seconds, Jonathan, was just ball watching, and that's enough for the break.
Settle some nerves to start the half. works back beautifully. It's been an inspired choice as captain. Equal biggest lead of the game, 44 points.
I wonder if we capture him in screen here, just the right-hand side. See the second one, he's already on the move. See, there you go. Already on the move after that first handball. The second handball gets delivered and he's got the break already. And Frost was still a little bit caught. Ball goes in.
Hasn't had a massive first half compared to last week, to him, but he'll be rubbing his hands to get the big Tex, I reckon, if the ball keeps getting supplied the way it has been the first half.
Just the 5 marks so far after a 15-mark game last week.
Just
Taylor Walker.
Just the 5 marks.
Just the 5.
Pretty ordinary game today.
Bring that one back. The one thing I do hold fears for here is the humidity Collingwood played in last week, and they almost got run over by a younger team. Now they're playing against a seriously good team. Fatigue is yet to really set in this game. They've been very competitive at the footy, but they can't put it on the board. They just have to get some return, otherwise it could get a touch ugly.
Absolutely. These two teams virtually finished in the same spot on the ladder last year. 10th and 11th head-to-head here, so both have the same hopes for a resurrection this year. Cloak goes long, goal square. Swans down there, edged out of it. Douglas back at the pack. Thumb through.
Just there, Jesse White, he led before Travis Cloak had even turned around. By the time Cloak got turned around, White had already gone.
And they're already off here, Adelaide, immediately from the kick-in. Henderson. Eddie Betts, can he get there?
I think Tex is on his own.
And Walker might be able to mark this and keep running. Oxley's there. He looks up. Little Charlie Cameron's waiting for it.
Well done.
He's unbelievably unselfish, Tex, isn't he?
Yes. I think he's a great choice, Captain Dern. I thought it was an inspired choice. A lot of people maybe didn't agree with it, but I certainly think they agree with it now after the first 2 weeks.
I wasn't right in that camp. I thought ability-wise it'd be wonderful you have a dominant forward like that, but I thought he's the beer drinker in the crowd. But to tell you what, as he swung us around.
Yes.
Biggest margin of the afternoon.
Kingy probably have an interesting point of view because there's a lot of similarities between Wayne Carey and Tex Walker, and Wayne Carey, of course, took over the captaincy from a pretty young age, and he's got that roguish, I suppose, type of personality about him, much the same as Duck.
Have a look here. Frost peels off big Tex, and that just leaves him. Frosty was caught a metre inside the baseline there. He was neither at the net nor behind the baseline, and didn't make the contest and couldn't get back to the coverage.
Yeah, he's the captain of a pot of beer, I reckon.
He'll want more than one.
Tex owns the pub with Will, I think.
It's either a pint or a schooner in Adelaide, Brownie. Have to get that right. And yeah, he owns the pub, so he won't have to pay for it. McKay. Jacobs, Smith, they are not done with yet here. Ellis Yeoman, who's been spectacular. Dangerfield, he just keeps on keeping on. Walker takes it to the line.
There's something about having a captain, Brownie, that plays with this sort of physicality that lifts the group and inspires the group. And when he challenges these midfielders to get the ball down into his area, they respond. I think he's a wonderful choice as captain. He's got that empathy that he understands how hard the program actually is.
That's a great point, Kingy. And you know, that last lead, the ball hit him on a half volley. And he doesn't, and some other players in the league should take note of this.
Yes.
He doesn't berate his midfielder for dropping it at his feet. He knows they're going as hard as they can. He's going to work on the next one there. He'll demand better, but he won't berate them for the inaccuracy.
Part of the role as captain is to have really strong and positive body language out in the field, especially as a key forward, because the whole world's...
Here he is on cue for you, Brownie, so you can keep talking about him.
Everyone's looking for that big forward, how he reacts when the ball's not kicked to him on a platter. And he's obviously got a very good personality, Tex, and he never blows up at his mids. Takes the good with the bad. He knows his mid's under a lot of pressure up the field.
But it's not as if he's placid. He blows up at the opposition.
Oh, he does. He does. Don't worry. You know if he's in the area. And he's got that nasty streak too. I reckon he wouldn't mind hurting you, dude.
And the other good part about him is that I think the people in Adelaide know how much every Adelaide Crow player looks up to him.
Yeah.
Everybody in Adelaide has known Tex has been massive for the club. He's been a big figure for a couple of years now. Probably only just starting to filter outside the South Australian borders how big this guy and how good this guy is. Cheney sits it up. Here's Walker on the run. He's up. Frost's fist.
He's capable of that, but that's the one part of his game which he doesn't dominate in, and that is the big third man up over a pack and take a really high mark. He sort of floats through packs and takes a good strong mark, and he's wonderful with his deceptive lead, and he's so big they struggle to get the spoiling fist around him.
Pendlebury clearing kick.
I think the real strength we haven't spoken about much is he keeps his feet really well, Derm. So he's
Beautifully
very
balanced.
good at ground level.
Yep.
That's why he can get high numbers up into the 20 possessions. Most key forwards probably average around 12 to 14 touches. The big Tex can quite comfortably get over the 20 possession mark.
He also signed a long-term deal. He was the one that committed to the club. Sloane and Dangerfield yet to sign, of course. Dangerfield waiting till the end of the year. See what happens. Yench.
So that was a good lead.
Smith, who's been sensational. And there's the long kick. Took all ball there, right. Got it away from Langdon. Broomhoop. Pendlebury. Langdon.
So the pressure's good still.
And here's Smith again. And on the run. Gets it, takes off, and hits a chest with it. Dangerfield. Wasn't his ball, but he'll take it anyway.
Did you see Brodie Smith? We know he's quick, but Jamie Elliott has got some agility. He actually did a tighter turning circle, and Elliott couldn't go with him then. Watch this. See, we'll probably need the extra 2 seconds before that to illustrate that, but that was just pure agility that he did Elliott for then.
He's a star, Brodie Smith. That's what Adelaide have got going for him. To win premierships will certainly be a top four side. They've got to have a lot of A-graders. Adelaide have got that. And Brodie Smith's one of them. We just spoke about Tex. Got another A-grader with the ball in his hands here.
A-grader?
Yeah, it might be A+, and I think he just keeps adding another 0 to his contract. The way he has been playing this year, when you add that to last year, Patrick Dangerfield, well, he was brilliant in essence last year. Pendlebury. They need their stars to stand up now. Collingwood like Pendlebury. Dangerfield cuts that off. Oxley. And they hit a target. Cloak's there. Goldsack is there. The fist from Hardigan.
Well done by Taylor Adams following that up. Seedsman gave really good run. There he is at the left-hand, Taylor Adams there. Seedsman gave really good run from deep inside 50. He's already up on the wing now. He's jogging back. So he's trying to do his best. But as I said, he came on as the sub-roundie, but he gives him good ground coverage. So he's one who'll probably hold his energy reserves a little bit longer than most others in the black and white.
Blair tucked into the pocket. That could inspire them.
And a few more of those, Dwayne.
Got no problems with their ability to want to go to the contest and win it here, the Magpies, and they are fighting it out as bravely as can be expected. They're actually leading 94-92 contested possessions. They're +2 in a team that is down by 45 points. They still go to the contest. Cloak encounters 2 opposition and still brings the ball down.
That's as good a goal as you see.
That is good.
You can't be disappointed with Collingwood's effort, Dan. I know we've spoken a fair bit about Adelaide in the last 10 minutes. Collingwood's effort's been fantastic.
Navako's in there with Swan. Looks like Broomhead, you can have that one again. Come on, Ray.
That's correct, Brownie, the effort side of things, but they do need to revisit their back line. Their back 6 isn't quite the right mix. When you look at the Adelaide Crow back 6, there's ball users and weapons on every line.
The problem is, King, I don't think they've got many options. That's a real concern for Nathan Buckley. That's why the baseline has to be good effort.
Smith again, the starter from defence to Eddie Betts, so hits him lace out. Again, their ball use has been spectacular.
Well, Collingwood's already gone for containment because they've thrown Goldsack back, and to win the game, they need him as a forward holding the ball in.
Can they steal one here? Elliott looks up. They've got numbers running forward. This looks good for them. Langdon.
Seedsman's creeping down the outside. He hasn't seen him. Crouch and slow. So this is when you talk about weapons. This is when you need a 65-metre drop punt, a raking kicker of the foot. You just float past and get the little give.
Wearing Harrio's old 8. He needs a Harrio kind of kick, and he doesn't.
No,
Jenkins unopposed.
That is not good.
Right.
That's a breakdown.
And again, they take it on down the middle. McKay with the speed. And hits a chest. Cameron. Eddie Betts. Dane Swan and Betts beats Swan. To Smith. To Lynch. Goldsack. Dangerfield. The pick at full speed. Caught. Dump ball.
Jeez, it was an exciting pickup, wasn't it?
He went into the turn a little early. He should have just kept a holding pattern and then put a step on. But he tried to power through that turn there.
He's got a great burst.
Langdon. Collingwood just lifted their momentum here. Can they get 2 in a row?
Got a good future, this kid, Tom Langdon.
Reads the ball well in flight. 3-on-1 Cloak.
Yench. Henderson. Yench. Ellis Yeoman. And again they take off. Brown. In the Dangerfield direction. Turvey right with him. Manhandled him beautifully there and takes it to the line.
Does a reasonable job, Turvey, to start in the lead there with Patrick Dangerfield. Dangerfield, one of the quicker players in the comp. Certainly got good leg speed, Turvey, as well.
He's got it back after missing, what, a year with a knee Rico. A lot of players don't get their full speed back. Douglas. And toes it off the deck. Danger zone. Walker. He turned the ball inside out. And can't turn it into a goal.
That's real strength there, Dwayne. When the ball hits the ground or he's on the ground, quite often Tex is a lot more capable at ground level than his direct opponent.
Marley Williams, halfway through this third term. Cloak comes up, makes a contest. Takes right down.
A tough day for Brody Grundy today. Tag teamed a bit by Jenkins. Of course, Sam Jacobs has had the 15 possessions. It's pretty good last week against Brisbane, Grundy, but he's getting muscled up a little bit today.
And he did tie last week, as we mentioned earlier. That's on the full 10 possession first term, none in the last for Brodie Grundy. In fact, he had a 2 possession second half last week, Brodie Grundy.
But I think one of the best young ruckmen in the competition coming through.
Yeah, a lot of players of his age that are ruckmen haven't even started their careers yet.
Just having a look behind play there, and young Jackson Ramsey was... He's dropped in on Patrick Dangerfield to mind him for a couple of seconds, and he was screaming at Tuvey, saying, "Get back and take him. I don't want him down here. He's a little close to danger for my liking."
Hardigan. I think he looks a little different. Changed numbers over summer from 41 to 15. Inboard to Smith. Couple to beat, and Langdon beats him. And Collingwood have the numbers. Just a poor bounce. Swan. Varco. Or back to Swan. Caught. Gone.
Should never go back into pressure there. They need to keep bringing the ball out this commentary side, Travis Barker. Instead, he's decided to step back into pressure.
I think Swanee was as surprised as anyone at the ground here that he received that ball.
I've seen the Crows do this from time to time, Derm. Just take the air out of the game. They don't want the shootout. They're just happy to bank this little lead they've got at the moment. 45 points. Make Collingwood work a little bit harder to defend and just enjoy the lead. They've worked hard to get it. There's no need to get engaged in a shootout.
I think we've all seen King with Hawthorn, who have been the most dominant side, obviously, the last few years. They move the ball really quickly, but they know how to compose and slow the game down as well.
That was an amazing bullet pass,
wasn't
there.
it?
And the lead was just as good.
Did you hear me applauding?
I did.
I mean, that's a really difficult kick to make.
With possession football, they've created the overlap. Jenkins on the run, just in front. Couldn't get their ball in.
Yeah, watch this. Now, this is slow play footy, as Kingy called it, for 60 seconds or so, which is an eternity in league football to man up. So the kick has to be perfect.
Dangerfield. Eddie Betts, Marley Williams. Eddie Betts tried the back heel. Marley Williams. Ramsey bumped on the kick.
This is where they've had problems, just bringing out defence.
He's got to hit that short pass, lace out, and just take time.
Laird. Eddie Betts could stand on some shoulders here. He goes, oh, that's a better play. Over the top. Langdon put his body on the line.
Having a real good quarter. He reads the ball very well in the air. Just on that free kick there. On that outward kick, it's so easy under pressure to think, make it somebody else's problem. I'll get a 50 out. Instead of the 15-metre dab kick, he marks it, and you get your 6 to 8 seconds for other teammates to run past or make your mind up what you can do with it.
Under pressure, you don't see the short target turn. You're just trying to bomb it away.
Turnover again. Douglas to Brown. No one to go too long. Had to hold it up. Turns it over. Frost.
Now Jesse White's got to break to the other side. Use that pace. Get out there.
So Oxley has White or Blair. He goes for White. White has Blair or Cloak.
Shut him down here. Well done.
Goes to Pendlebury.
Well, Cloak's gathered a crowd of 4 around him down the line. Don't go to him. Good kick.
Elliott.
See, Cloakey's done really well there. He's attracted a big crowd. See him down there?
On. Turnover at Laird. And the crowd getting more restless now. They're not enjoying this at all, the Collingwood faithful.
I'm tipping there's a state of people watching it on TV who are really enjoying it.
Absolutely. And the Adelaide Crows are flying at the moment. They've got record membership. They're up over 60,000, which is more than the capacity of Adelaide Oval. They've almost sold out their massive Hall of Fame dinner in 2 weeks' time. They've got about a couple of hundred tickets left for that, and that'll be a bigger dinner than they've ever had. They are flying, the Adelaide Crows. It's a whole new regime, and the fans are back into it. Varco to Crisp. The lead's coming, goes to the square. Elliott's going to go up. Free kick against Cloak.
Well, the crowd are going to go look at him behind.
Well, they need an avenue to vent their anger, surely, the Collingwood fans. Right now, it's just building up and building up. They would be hating this after last week's promising win.
It's good.
I think they've found their target, Dwayne. It's surname Chamberlain.
I think he's actually umpired really well today. He's a good umpire, right?
He's a great umpire, but everybody knows him. And
yeah, that's right.
Cameron flies, ball to the back. Marley Williams. Seedsman. And Adelaide still yet to use their sub. Seedsman, Collingwood sub. Splendid pass to Crisp. Got away with it. Blair already got 2.
Must convert.
To Fasolo. Angle a little better.
The pressure just dropped away a little bit by that last few minutes, and probably gone a little bit too quick. King spoke about it a bit before, where Adelaide took the heat out of the game, just wanted to control the footy. I think Phil Walsh would like to see that a little bit more, instead of just turning into a running race, the ball going up and down. It's the only way Collingwood can get back into the game.
They've kicked the last 2 in a row of this Ben's back post. So will they play on quickly as they have, or just take a little slower now, Adelaide?
To hear Ray say that, if I hear those words come out of your mouth again, it'll be, I think it was an automatic 50, but he threatened a 50 if he hears that type of language again.
Who to?
Didn't pick that up, but it's interesting that the umpires are going to pull a 50 at league level for that type of disrespect.
I like the warning.
He's warned him.
I like the warning.
He's warned him. Oh, yeah.
Some umpires will pull the trigger straight away.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Smith.
Here we go. Adelaide, a bit more concerted build-up here, Dwayne.
26 possessions now for Smith, and again, he hits a target in the middle of 3 defenders.
Oh, Tex has got a wonderful match-up here.
Eddie, Tex, Charlie Cameron, Eddie Betts. Oh, it's a raffle. Patrick Dangerfield pulls out the winning ticket.
Tex had the matchup of Marley Williams, and the ball just drifted in so that it brought Oxley into the frame with the third man up. So you watch here. It's actually, yeah, Adam Oxley there just gets him, but he's got Marley Williams, so had to go a little 5 metres further up the ground. Bobbles around and just that relentless pressure. Hang in there, Magpies, you've been brave.
It was a better build-up by the Adelaide Crows that started deep in their defence. Had a lot of kick marks. Just build it up slowly till they get free once they got into their forward half, then they moved quickly.
That was Eddie just saying, Danger, please hang around. I'll give you this one. Please hang around.
Let's sign up. Well, here he is out of the middle again. Rockets away. Thumps it long, and he's got a spare man. Genie, where did he come from? Well, we know where he came from, obviously. He's joined the club from Melbourne and Hawthorn, but he's drifted forward.
It's going to be tough for him to slot it, and he knows it. So Rory gets the sideways chip. It'll be tough for Rory to kick it.
And, well,
give it to the skipper.
Give it to the captain. They are playing with them right now, Adelaide.
That's your angle. On the mark.
Defeated North Melbourne round 1 by 10 goals. They are threatening to win this one by more. This is for a 56-point margin with 1/4 and 3 minutes left.
Oh, hit the post. It's been the main target for Adelaide, of course. They've been targeted 11 times today as a forward. Nice little block there. Lynch steps across in front of Frost.
That's a free kick. The way the umpires said they were going to umpire.
Might be a free kick, but it's very hard for the umpires to pick up turn.
Absolutely.
I love seeing that, the teamwork between forwards. You know, Lynch decides to sacrifice himself there, so Walker gets it. It'll come back to repay him. There's going to be a time where Tex will block for him, and Lynch gets an easy one on the lead.
Couldn't agree with him more.
Yep.
Couldn't agree with him more. But the umpire missed it.
That's right.
2 of the all-time great forwards, 5-time premiership star Dermot Brereton, 3-time premiership star with the Lions, Jonathan Brown, with us this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching around the land. And if you're watching in SA, I know you're enjoying it. Swan hugs the boundary. Elliott, can he keep it alive? He does. Caught high. Crowd screaming. They need a break, Collingwood. They don't get one there.
A little bit of feedback given to the umpires down here. Not all positive.
What about you, King? You getting any feedback today?
We always get a little bit with the Collingwood supporters.
Broomhead. And that's, could be on the full. It hit the post. It did on the full, not on the half volley.
That's fine, Trav.
Now, Collingwood have got all their men in their attacking side of the ground. So this is Collingwood's effort at the press. So I reckon Buckley's just trying to roll reversal here, just seeing if he can practice a few things. He's probably going to go out the back door and not win this game. So we've got to find out a few things here today. The 51 points down. Let's roll the dice on a few things and see who's going to play certain positions for me. Let's see if we can commit to some form of structures like this press, but every player in 1/4 of the ground right now.
Shortish week for Collingwood. They play St Kilda next Friday night at the MCG, so I'll be hoping for a win in that one.
Good pace. Good run. Keep over it.
Cheney. Dangerfield went low. Turvey was splendid. Oxley. It's a floater. Tough to mark. Oh, they went up from all angles and a free kick.
Unrealistic.
I said that last Dangerfield incident there on the wing when he slides in low. That's the one that Phil Walsh probably doesn't really want him to go for, given the margin is 51 points. There's really no need for him to lead with the chin on that one. What are your thoughts on that, Dirk?
Rather keep your feet there, wouldn't you, Dan?
Yeah, some blokes seem to... It's what you're comfortable with doing, and I reckon you're right, Kingy. As a coach, you want him to keep his feet and keep safe, but you can't sort of play on your terms safely. Otherwise, it creeps into your game at the wrong times. They've worked this very well up the ground here.
Jenkins wastes no time and lands another punch to Collingwood's jaw.
Let's have a look at it, Kingy. We'll have a look at Danger chase this out. Here he comes. Just tries to get underneath him there and paddle it out. Yeah, a lot of blokes. I remember playing against the great Bruce Dool. He'd let you go for it and slide in, and his reflexes could catch you in the tackle once you got it.
'50th game for Josh Jenkins this afternoon. Kicked 3-1 last week. Having a good start to his 2015 as well.
Good foil for Tex Walker as well down there.
Plays like he's seen a lot more than 50 games too.
Big brute of a lad.
1 minute to three-quarter time.
I reckon Rory copped one in the family jewels then.
They're yet to use their sub, Adelaide. Mitch Grigg is their sub. He'll be busting to get on and get a piece of this. Brown, good battle. Elliott tied up. Brown still got him. Holding the ball.
G's played well. Brown, Lukey Brown, 181 centimetres, so he's not tall either. But you would think that Jamie Elliott's going to get him in the air, but he's been able to spoil him on most.
It's hard to find those defenders, that small and medium type defenders that can go with those jumping forwards.
Yep.
And Lukey Brown's one of those guys who does a really good job on those type of players.
Gee, that's a big jump off 2 feet in front of the pack there by Jesse White.
They steal one here on the siren. It sits up. They need a mark or a free. Chris, he gets the free.
All right, Brownie. He's got a shot here. Your old teammate. What's he need to do? Where does he need to start? He looks like he's got a big left to right.
What he has done is he used to kick off his instep a little bit, Crispy. In this scenario of his game, he needs to improve. He's come a long way in the last 12 months, Jim.
I was watching him before the game.
Needs to improve, yeah.
And he was having a few kicks out there, and Benny Hart, former Crows champ, was coaching him through a few set shots.
That's what he has ahead of him. Struck it well, not well enough. And that tells the tale of Collingwood's day. Adelaide has done just about everything right. Collingwood just about everything wrong. Three-quarter time, Crows by 56. It's been a feeding frenzy from the Adelaide Crows, hunting down their Collingwood opponents. Only conceded 3 goals in 3 quarters. And they've piled on 11 of their own. 11-15, 81 to 3-7-25. They lead by 56 points at three-quarter time. And there's the numbers in detail for Jonathan Brown and Dermot Brereton to have a look at and digest for a little while as we go down to David King on the boundary line.
Well, he wasn't happy, Phil Walsh, when he got to the huddle. He dragged them in very quickly, not happy with that third quarter. He wants them to be a relentless side, a ruthless side. If they're going to be that, then they need to put them away in the last quarter here. There's blood in the water. They need to make this a 100-point margin. And he left them in no uncertain terms. They know exactly where this game sits. He wants the kill.
Yeah, I think they certainly dropped off a little bit with their intensity, especially in the middle part of that third quarter. However, I think he would have been a lot happier in the last 10 minutes of the third quarter that they used the ball a little bit better. They were better with their build-up. But I think they want to build their identity out of the defensive pressure, and they want that to be 4 quarters because they know that's what it'll take to win big finals.
Matty Wright looks like he's been subbed out, and Grigg comes in. I think I want you to have a look at in the last quarter. The 20-year-old Brodie Grundy looked to be really tiring against a big 26, 27-year-old Sauce Jacobs, who's a mature, big ruckman.
It's been fantastic, Jacobs, today.
One of the best ruckmen in the competition now, was again last year. Dangerfield to Douglas towards Walker. Off Frost's head. Adams. Bounce handball works. Pendlebury, Elliott. Open side handball to Seedsman. He thumps it. Hoping for Cloak. Just bounced in front of him unkindly. Jesse White overruns it. Talia.
That, I'll talk about it in a second.
Stolen back. Broomhead outside of the boot. There's your start.
Good lad. The Cloak attack on the footy then, that is one where he's a monster of a man. A more athletic player is going to dive for that and know he can mark it. So that's just horses for courses there. Cloakey's come out and probably second-guessed himself to dive.
Probably should have gone. Probably should have took a bit of skin off the nose there.
Absolutely.
Took the sliding chest mark.
Cloakey had a chance to really dive into this and just didn't have the... Yeah, he's got to dive for that and accept that he's going to have no skin on the inside of the elbows. Well, they get them this time of year. They last till August. They're hard to heal.
Grundy. Elliott. Lifted there right here. Short. Swan went to ground. Chinny kept his feet and does beautifully with the toe to Yinch.
He's dense, Cheney. He's really hard, heavy body, and he, you know, that little half nudge against somebody of similar size. The Swanee's thereabouts, even though he's a midfielder. I reckon, you know, if your car ever runs into a wombat, it'll stove the front end of your car. He's got that wombat build. He's really dense and heavy.
Adelaide used picks 31 and 50 to get him from Hawthorn, who initially used pick 53 to get him.
He's a better player. He's a better player than a wombat too, I might add. But he's that really heavy-set, heavy-boned player.
Tell you what, if he doesn't have a nickname term, I reckon you've just landed him one. The boys watch this telecast.
Let's have a look at these two big fellas. Grundy's battled on. Well done.
Almost the clearance. Yench, slick hands. There's the sub Greek. First touch finally after an initial fumble. Cameron. Henderson, Taylor Walker, put it in front. Jenkins is hoping for some Eddie Betts support.
That was really interesting. You notice that, Brownie, that Tex went feeling for the body of Frost before attacking the footy.
The ball just landed on his head a little bit, and he's got a pretty good ability, Tex, to be able to turn his head and see where his defender is without giving away the free kick.
Whereas a lot of key forwards will just rely, I've got the drop, I've got the spring heels, I'm going to jump high and take this off the ground.
Sloan to Dangerfield. Out of the copybook.
Good support, running down there. Just turn them inside out.
It's been good today, Sloan.
Oh, he's a super player.
He's a star. They've used him a fair bit. Him and Dangerfield, they've used off the back of the centre square at times, knowing full well that Collingwood have to man him up. They can't allow him to run in off the back of the centre square unmanned.
Patrick Dangerfield has made no secret of the fact he'd like to plant a flag before his career is over, and that's going to weigh heavily on his decision at the end of this year. If the Adelaide Crows keep playing like this and they finish this season top 4, I can't see him leaving. This is exactly what he would be after. Be part of this kind of team if they can produce this every week. Pendlebury.
All right, Jesse, you've got to jump at it. Good effort.
He
well
done.
It
nicely.
I think he's both club and player are both professional enough that negotiations will be going on off field, and they'll be able to keep that separate from their performance on the field.
Sloan, who may well sign next month, if you're talking about his deal nearly being done, so that'll be another one in the book at least. Frost, Siegeman didn't strike it well. Jacobs, Brown, Douglas, Van Berlo. It's good to have him back after he missed the entire 2014 season.
The stats are starting to rack up too. Rory Sloan, who gave that off to Patrick Dangerfield, that's his 5th score assist for the day. And last year he went through the season as 4th highest in the AFL for score assist.
Douglas to Betts. Didn't complete the mark. Lays the tackle for Solo. Pendlebury
Well, that's got to be on the money. It's not.
Fasolo steals it back. Langdon. Jesse White used his hands and his body well. Needs to find a target. Bounced unkindly for Laird. Swan, easy surely. Made it look tough initially.
Adelaide just looking a little bit, not fatigued, but certainly the intensity's gone out of their game.
They're a bit fatigued. I mean, they're not getting the backline support now that they had in the first 2.5 quarters.
That's right.
See, a little bit of a split there, and it's a one-on-one. The next one in, it's a 2-on-1, and then the second. That's a half forward who comes up to give them support.
21 possessions so far today for Dane Swan after a 31 possession game to start the season last week.
Now got a loose man behind off the square, Rory Sloan.
Dangerfield, Ellis Yeoman. Cameron, gee, that's a fantastic attack at full tilt. Almost ball. Wasn't quite wrapped up in the tackle. Crowd still wanted ball, and now it's going to be Adelaide's ball. Ramsey.
He's got some wheels, Charlie Cameron, Dwayne.
Has he ever?
Thank you.
Had a couple of scintillating quarters of football last year. Missed out that week on the NAB Rising Star nomination because there was a kid at the Brisbane Lions, Brownie, who also had a pretty good week. In fact, he had a pretty good month. That's why Lewis Taylor was nominated the week Charlie Cameron had a day out. White, he can get and go here. Oh, he does, but he's brought down. Hardigan read his mind.
Didn't have a lot ahead of him. Still probably could have kicked it forward. Dane Swan one out.
Fasolo.
Might do it again.
What's missing, boys? For the Adelaide Crows to become a genuine contender in the competition, that man's put a great plan in place. You can see they're really enjoying playing their football for the first couple of weeks. But what's the next step, Derm? What do they need to be a genuine contender?
They need one of their 2, 3, or someone else to become a bona fide stopper in the back line against good quality forwards. They got a very good one in Talia. And thereafter, apart from some little fellas, we just don't know.
Well, Hardigan's the one that's got that responsibility at the moment as the second defender. Derm. They've got Cheney in from Hawthorn, who's is better suited to the medium sort of hybrid type forwards, but Hardigan needs to make it his own. Of course, they lost Ben Rutten, All-Australian defender, been the real linchpin of Adelaide's defence for the best part of a decade.
But Ben Rutten, as good as he's been, probably was off the pace in the last 18 to 24 months. So it's not as if they didn't know this was coming.
Good thing about Adelaide's defence is they've got some really good running defenders, so they can allow a guy like Daniel Talia just to lock down the opposition's best key forward, knowing full well there's plenty of run and support and carry.
He doesn't have to get
guys like Brody Smith bringing him out of half back. They're going to get plenty of attacking run from those guys without the big defenders needing to add to that.
I think the other thing we're looking at for Adelaide as well is people like Betts rolling through the middle for 4, 5 times at centre bounces throughout the game. They just need to pump up the stocks of people who can be in at the centre bounce, because their midfield is very good for the first half dozen. But you look at the guys who are at the top end of the tree, they have 8, 9, 10 people who can roll through the midfield, and they're bona fide match winners on their day in the midfield.
Free kick to Swan for in the back. Some applause for an umpire for a change. High, goal square. Cloak leads, got it!
Well done. 40's one of the front spot there.
Daniel Talia has screamed at his teammates over there and said, come on, come on. He needed some help there. Yeah, Hardigan. So there you go. That's a fail for Hardigan. Talia's doing his best to ground Cloak, and he did. Hardigan got the jump at it, but just clean missed the ball.
Finally, the crowd gets something to roar about.
So if we have a look at this, Brownie, Talia's job is to ground Cloak so he doesn't jump. He does that. He's been beaten by him, but he grounds him. And it is up to his teammate Hardigan to come through. Now watch.
Just allowed him to slip past though. Cloak was able to slip past Talia. Talia would like a stronger contest potentially. Now we do know with these new rules that the defender can't step across and block the run of the forward. Well done by Cloak there. He has fought hard to still try and make a contest today.
First goal of the afternoon for Travis Cloak. Jesse White in the ruck now. Dangerfield somehow peels his way through traffic. Walker. Edges out Frost. Sloan. Douglas. Grigg. Eddie Pett's got one to the ear. Cameron stalking it. You heard the umpire. Goldsack's free. Ramsey heads wide. And Kay and Talia combined nicely. Lynch went for Brown and to go back and get it and give it to him. Good attack, Jesse White. Seedsman didn't realise Henderson just came off the bench. Caught him, he dropped it. Sloan. Henderson might go all the way home. We poked it over the head. He didn't know whether to pass to Walker or go for goal. He didn't either.
It was a bad lead by Texo. He led to the wrong side.
Push off from Smith. Normally hits a target. Cameron, good hands. Lynch. From the stand start.
It's been a little bit sloppy in the forward entries here, Adelaide. Just need to compose themselves a little bit better. They've got control of the footy. Had Rory Sloan there on his own, about 30 metres out from goal. Missed him there.
Adelaide did start the favourite here this afternoon, according to many scribes, against Collingwood, even though they both won round one. And you'd think they'd be picked by many people the next couple of weeks as well. It's looking good for Adelaide.
Here we go. This lead we just spoke about before. Tex was one-on-one, and you can see Tex has led back to the inside where there's traffic. He should have led to the pocket. Would have been a much easier kick for his Adelaide teammate. He'd be disappointed with that lead.
Jonathan Brown explaining it. One of the great forwards of all time. Umpire circling here is going to have to ball it up. So the next 2 weeks, Adelaide have Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval next week, and then the Bulldogs back here at Etihad Stadium, and then the showdown round 5. They could really sound a warning or two in the next couple of weeks if they haven't already. Frost over the head of Crisp. Varco. Good run. Swan. Manhandled forward. Yench tries to track him down. Forced into the pocket. Swanee has a bounce. Post.
Oh, he's got a second shot at it.
Should have done that the first time. It was a good effort though, wasn't it?
Super effort to turn him around.
Created something out of nothing.
Is that a 7-point player?
Oh, yeah. It used to be in the old Note Cup, didn't it? That would have been play on.
That's true.
I reckon you've made a great point a couple of minutes ago about the Tex Walker not lead to the outside, because what can happen occasionally when your team's on top, you think, I'm the kind of player who leads to position, but at the moment we're so dominant, I'm going to beat my opponent with deception. That's what he tried to do, deceive him. Whereas sometimes you just got to stick with the, I'm going to grunt it out, I'm going to work harder to the outside and get on the lead, and I'll outrun him on this lead. He didn't. He tried to play him back inside.
Well, you're right. It is easier just to lead to the inside, isn't it? Not as much hard work. You know your teammate's got time and space up the field. You're a long way ahead on the scoreboard. You're just sort of looking to put the cue in the rack and have an early shower a little bit. And
the things that have worked for you, once they have worked and they've put you ahead on the board, you go away from them looking for the easier path.
They're not by any stretch of the imagination are we knocking Big Tex's
Not
work
at all.
rate.
But it's just...
We love the Big Tex.
It's natural. This is unfortunate.
Brodie Smith.
Brodie
down.
Smith, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's in real trouble, Dwayne.
So they may have to stop play here. I think the trainers have called to the umpire to hold it up. Oh, gee, that is horrible. Yeah, we'll advise you to look away.
They're trying to get the mouth guard out.
Yeah, so feel free to look away.
This is him. Keep your eyes on him. What happens here? He gets swung around. Oh, the back of the knee. In front of the knee, on the back of the head. Swung into the knee. Totally accidental.
So stretcher is coming out.
Stretcher's coming on. Take all the time you need, guys.
If I blew the whistle right now, that boy's best on ground for me.
Yeah, he's been terrific all day.
30 possessions for Brodie Smith.
I think even though he's All-Australian last year, Dwayne, he's been underrated outside of South Australia, I believe. I think we spoke about it earlier in the telecast. He's arguably the best, definitely right foot kick in the competition.
He's raking, isn't he?
Oh, he is. Yeah. Let's just hope he's okay, and that's a concussion at best.
There's some concern on the faces as well out there. The trainers are doing their best.
So,
best medical people in the business involved at AFL clubs these days, so he'll get the best of care.
David King, you're down on the bench, so Griggs come on. I hadn't seen him come on, but I thought Matty Wright had been subbed out earlier.
Yeah, he had, Derm. So I can't answer what has happened there. Maybe a concussion test or so, but there he is there. You can see him on the bench. So he's out of the game. So they're just going to be down one player, but that's not really a concern at this stage. It's all for the health and well-being of...
So it's just Griggs who happens to be on the bench at that time. I'm not...
Yeah,
he's not coming out of the subs vest to come on. It's just a replacement for this terribly unfortunate incident.
Of course, they've had
Send the Adelaide bloke straight on if you haven't already.
pre-season injury as well, didn't they, Dwayne? With, unfortunately, Brent Riley had a really serious head injury. Of course, we hope that Brodie Smith's in a lot better shape than that.
Yeah, and they're still concerned about Brent Riley, whether he'll be able to come back. They've still got Scott Thompson and Kerridge and Otten and Brad Crouch, of course, to come back in. But he has been sensational today, Brodie Smith. In fact, let's have a look at his afternoon at the office. 30 possessions to this point of the game.
21 kicks there, the main stat, and he's one of their designated ball users, if you want to call it that. He's just unbelievable. He's like a surgeon with that right foot. You'd love to be on the end of that as a key forward, Derm. That was one of his rare times he missed.
You have dreams of those types of kicks coming forward.
He's got great penetration when he kicks as well. It really gets to the target very quickly.
In the words of the old Dougie Hawkins, he's a 100-metre player. He runs 30 and kicks at 60. Now, fingers crossed for him. He's going to be okay here.
His family would understand the dangers of football. His father's been a long time, big time footy fan, Port Adelaide fan back in the SANFL days, goes to many of Brodie's games, may well be here, so could well greet him down in the rooms if they're watching at home. We'll try and bring you an update, David King, as soon as we can.
He's on the up, Dwayne. It's unfortunate. It's the 6th time he's reached 30 disposals in a game. The other 5 were last year. So round 2 he's done it again. He's hit 30 disposals today before this has happened.
He's gained 564 metres today, which is ranked #1 on the field. I think anything over 300 metres is a pretty good day. I'm not sure about that stat. Kingy might know a little bit about, but that's a huge day.
500's a big day. 500's is certainly an A-grade game. There's some concern down here. There's still some concern for the young man. He's getting a round of applause, but he is in the best of care, as you said earlier, Derm, so he's in good hands.
Yeah, the Magpie supporters are applauding him. They're a good lot now. They'll yell and scream when it's, you know, their turn to go and support their team, but well done, Collingwood supporters. They put their hands together for this lad here, and I don't doubt they'll do it again. He has been unbelievably good today, and we have got our fingers crossed for him right now. taking that drive very, very slowly off the ground, especially when they get to this ramp here.
There goes the hand. It's the one that all supporters want to see, and no doubt it's his family, either at the ground or at home. We'll see him raise the hand.
So play continues. Ellis Shulman kicks to half forward, but
so
unfortunately
he's a fine Ellis Shulman.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I made mention before, one of the things that they'd want is another midfielder to add to that roll through stocks in there. And he's a big enough kid, you could say he's like that sub-sized key position player. He's around 6'2.5" in the old language, 189 there he is. Big body who can stretch height. And he's another find for them who can go through there and soak up time and heat in the middle of the ground.
Pendlebury to Grundy. Oxley. Laird kept his feet for Solo, went to ground. Walker on the march. Frost got a fist in there. Walker keeps his feet. Broomhead. Langdon. Brown and Swan can go. He's got Jesse White inside 50. He's got Cloak inside 50. He goes for White and hits him lace out.
Now, big Sauce Jacobs is running to the goal square. This is where Brodie Grundy, who's at centre half forward, needs to just sneak out 20 odd metres around to the side and draw out Jacobs and even get on a lead. Just make him think about his game a little bit more than just being. See, there he is, bent over near the far point post.
Spoke to Brodie Grundy about that a couple of weeks ago, and just the whole how young he is. It is going to be obviously tough for him to ruck every game all day.
Well, I think it's hard for the ruckman. You know, they don't really come of age until 23. You would say, Derm. It takes 5 years in the gym to really build up the.
He's 4 days off his 21st.
Yeah, it's really young, and he's had to shoulder a big lot of the burden on his own. He gets a little bit of support from Jesse White, but really since Darren Jolly's gone, he's had to take over and run the show since the age of 18.
Yeah, they've got wits at the club also, but not in the team, obviously.
Seedsman has some space here. Who does he want inside 50? Cloak's leading back to the square. He goes inboard. Dive, Langdon.
Coming up for his 22nd possession, hasn't troubled the scorers tonight. But a very, very good second half.
So to Adam Oxley, who's up to 30 disposals now. That's a PB for him in only a handful of games he's played. A rookie elevated player at half-back. Fought a good fight on the wing to give this opportunity. Yeah,
Adam Oxley, I think he rolled an ankle last year and was quite injured with that and struggled to come back after that.
That was for 3 goals in a row for Collingwood. Fought their way back from 57 points down.
Hold there, Dane. Thank you.
Hardigan.
Hold there. Hold there. You.
Blair, good float in. Couldn't quite complete the deal. Greek slams it to the wing. Sloan. Good battle. Douglas. Jenkins. Just got the kick away, but for Solo was in the spot. So Collingwood could finish off at least full of run here and make the scoreboard look a little more attractive. Elliott could have got a free, did get a free.
They're holding their 6-man forward line, the Magpies. They're going to go in. Dane Swan has spent the last 30 minutes as a forward. There he is.
Brown to Greek. Sloan, good hands. Had Pendlebury to beat, so one of the best in the business. Jenkins. McKay caught, that's ball. Had Pryor.
Didn't have a lot forward then for him, and Charlie Cameron was the only guy ahead of the play.
Didn't really read it, Charlie, and give him an option down the line.
Grundy in Cloak's direction. Blair stands under him. Didn't quite work. Yench.
Cloakey tried to give him the screen then, but he just Blair couldn't jump high enough.
You tell him to get out of the way, wouldn't you, Dan? Those little blokes.
Not 15.
That's a 3-metre pass.
5. Dangerfield. Well, ugly ball, but it might still work. Walker's going to work into it.
Adelaide just lost their forward structure a bit here.
Ramsey on the back pedal. Goldsack. Langdon. Seedsman. He's got a few options to go to. One's in the goal square. Blair. Oh, he thought about it. He did play on. Got away with it. 3 goals in a row, Collingwood, and Blair's got 3.
He summed that up very well. He had Swan with all that vast experience demanding the ball on the lead out to the look at Swanee at the bottom of the screen here. He's already on the bike. He reckons he's got the easy lead up. He uses him for a half second or thinks about it, but he scans the scene and takes the right option.
Yeah. They'll be happy with this, the last 4 goals. Certainly haven't been without effort all day, Collingwood.
.37 points. It was 57. Looking a lot more respectable right now. Can they finish it off? Dangerfield got it from Grigg. Sloan his target. Got a good set of hands.
He's got a good set of hands for a small type midfielder. It's a really good day, Rory Sloan. He's one of those guys you come up against for the opposition and you'll always put his name tag to the side and say he's a matchup we need to shut down.
Second in the best and fairest again last year to go with his gold jacket from the year before.
What do they do, the Crows?
Best and fairest wins a gold jacket.
Gold jacket? Is it the Australian Masters or?
No, this is bigger. High, goal square, and the fist through.
Just an update from downstairs regarding Brodie Smith. They're still working on him down there. We'll try and get a full update in the post-match if we can. He's in great hands. A lot of medical attention down there. He gave us the thumbs up as he went down the tunnel, so hopefully all is good.
Thanks for that, Kingy. There'll be plenty of Pro fans and family members at home that would be thankful for an update there. Little edge out on Smith by Hardigan. Got away with it. Cheney. Yench. Straight down the middle. Sub Grigg, who's having an impact. First game for the year, back in this week.
Notice when Cloak took that mark, he swung around and went straight back down the line. If he looks, he's got to get Backman going out the other side of the ground and crisscrossing the ball across the deck, and that's how you really put teams to the sword. And I know they're down, I know they're tired, but you've still got to endeavour to run out there and supply the option.
Especially late in the game, you're going to have a lot more loose options back in the corridor, Derm.
Refusing to blaze away, just using spare men. Back to Cheney. Hardigan. Laird.
Adelaide will be happy to do this
Sloan.
for the next few minutes. Just control the ball a bit, especially since Collingwood's kicked the last few.
Walker.
Clocked over 400 possessions now, the Crows.
Good kick.
He's worked hard since coming on. Grigg wearing number 8 this year, or 38 last year, wearing Lewis Johnson's old number 8 this year. Sloan.
114 marks to Adelaide, 55 to Collingwood. Just controlled the ball all day.
Collingwood are leaving spare men behind the ball, so Adelaide just content to use them. Talia. Henderson.
Thank you.
I think Adelaide should be happy with this. He doesn't want end-to-end football this time of the game.
Doesn't want any more injuries as well.
Definitely not.
But they have confirmed their round 1 form, Adelaide.
Yes.
Set a whole new benchmark for the club now. Their first 2 weeks of football under a new coach, Philip Walsh. He's been of great influence, Philip Walsh early. And obviously, we played for Collingwood, Richmond and Brisbane, and then went and helped Port Adelaide win a flag under Mark Williams, then went to the West Coast, and now Port Adelaide and back to Adelaide. So he's been in the system for a long, long time, honing his coaching skills.
Tell you what, Dwayne, they'll be hanging off the rafters in round 5 when they play against Port Adelaide.
It's a Crows showdown round 5, so there's a chance that no Port Adelaide fan will get a ticket.
It's been the Magpie supporters are starting to boo now, but it's been a long time since Collingwood have touched the footy here.
Yes.
I've just been told I've got that game as well, so I can't wait to get over there for that one. You'll see it wherever you're watching this. You'll see it live and in high definition with us. You'll have the best seat in the house if you can't get a seat for the showdown in round 5. That should be a cracker. Adelaide Crows home showdown.
This will nearly be a world record for the most uncontested marks in a row here. They've taken about the last 20, I think.
It go very, very close. See how they go here. This will be a contest anyway.
Oh, it might go to the back, off the deck.
Kicked it back in.
Still a chance, Eddie. Might get it out of hands.
He needed to point the toe instead of curl the toe. There you go, Eddie, what are you doing?
There it is in high definition, third eye.
Would have been better off kicking it with the sole of his foot, pushing it through by foot.
Kicked one of the goals of the year earlier in this game. In fact, the first goal of the game, Eddie Betts. He's just a sensation to watch. Jesse White bangs a torpedo. The Swan. For Solo. Scott Cloak for Solo. Still for Solo. Still for Solo.
He's got Cloak now. He's not going to get around quick enough. Look at Cloaky.
For Solo looks at the scoreboard. There's 33 minutes gone. He's probably thinking, well, I'll play on. The siren might sound it, but he'll just go back and have him kick.
57 inside 50s to 43 for Collingwood. A tough day for the forwards. Hasn't come in very cleanly. Certainly, when it has come in, they've been outnumbered by the Adelaide defence.
And he drills it inside a minute to full time.
Just back up over that stat from a few minutes ago, Brownie. 58 marks for Collingwood.
Yeah.
Opposed to 126.
A lot of that has come from, as you can just see here, it was actually pretty well done by Dane Swan. He took his time, could have banged it in earlier on. Just took his time, called for Solo to come back at him. But yes, Adelaide have dominated the marks, Derm, and that's mainly been set up by their pressure. And Collingwood have struggled to come out of their defence with any composure, so they've really had to blaze away. And of course, Adelaide have loaded up behind the ball, and then they've been able to share it and go back inside their 50 with better precision than Collingwood.
David King to bring us a couple of interviews after the game. We'll go down to the rooms for the song, so stay with us. Ellis Yeoman inside 50 to Cameron. Just flicked away from him. We'll bring you the full flavour of this Adelaide Crow demolition. Could have been worse. Collingwood have kicked the last 4 goals of this game. Adams.
Yeah, he's got to use it, Taylor. It's not a great kick. You must use it to advantage. Well done.
So Cloak to Langdon to Jesse White.
Well done.
Well, they could finish with 5 in a row.
Tough one for Hardigan, get caught in that situation, running back to goal. Jesse White was able to just use Hardigan's momentum against him, just push him out of the way, come back at the ball.
It's hard to know what is actually possible for the Adelaide Crows this year. They have demolished their 2 opponents so far in 2015. Collingwood may have kicked the last 5 goals of this, but they were 57 points up, Adelaide, and they won easing up in the end. And right now, I reckon start believing the hype. They're a contender on what we've seen so far in 2015.
There is no doubt this team is very good. As you say, it's hard to get a read on them, but one thing is for sure, they have improved out of sight from last year. They are headed north with a bullet. One bloke bloke who's got a bullet next to him all the time, and he is an absolute rocket in that forward line. He's Eddie Betts, and he is with our own David King.
And he's always a bit of fun, Ed. What a fantastic performance again by the team tonight.
Yeah, it was great, you know. We come over to get the 4 points, and that's what we did, you know. We wanted to put the pressure in, make them turn it over, and hit the scoreboard. I think we did that right.
You still got that banana going, mate. That was fantastic in the first quarter.
Yeah, I just had a crack, and it came off. I practiced it a lot, but, you know, if you have a crack, they come off. If they don't, they don't, but we went through.
We're just showing it now, mate. Not much emotion from you. Didn't really celebrate too hard early in the game.
Nah, I got to tone it down a bit, you know. Doing all the team things now.
What about the other end? What about the last quarter? That's a special for you, just to dab it across the line.
I thought I was going to go on. It just went straight up in the air. Next week.
No, well done. Now, they look like a powerful outfit at the moment. They're getting a lot of inside 50s for you, a lot of opportunity. The boys are playing some good footy.
Yeah, it is, and you know, everyone's got to play their role. That's what we're all about. You play your role, you play in the Adelaide Football Club team. So I think all the boys know their roles, and we did it all right tonight.
Go and enjoy it, mate.
Thanks, Ken.
Really well served by Eddie Betts up there. Tex Walker's the kingpin, and it all structures up around him. Jenkins didn't have a lot to do tonight. Eddie was dangerous as always. Tex was damaging early. The game was pretty hot. And then a few minutes into the third quarter, we really knew what the result was going to be. Collingwood trying to minimise damage control. You can tell when Collingwood have said, well, let's minimise the damage here, but because they throw goal sack back, because they want his pressure in the forward line if they want to win. Other than that, they throw him to the back line. They did that 10 minutes into the third quarter. Well, let's have a look at that kingpin. His name's Tex Walker, and he's with David King.
That was a powerful performance, mate, backing up after a pretty good round one.
Yeah, mate, obviously that's what we've been working on all pre-season. Our defence today is our cornerstone of our game, and I suppose when we do that well, everything else flows. And I thought we were a bit patchy in the second half, but we held our nerve back then and got the job done.
Coach wasn't happy at three-quarter time. He wanted you to have a relentless approach to the last quarter. It's coming, isn't it? You can feel like it's on the burn.
Yeah, as I said, we've had 4.5 months training in pre-season. Walsh has brought over some new stuff, and we're still learning a little bit, but we're very confident in our game plan.
Geez, you got some support on the road.
Yeah, mate, they're great supporters, so we love the 19th man.
Go and get involved. Well done, mate. Enjoy the form for the rest of the year.
Thanks, Ken.
60,000 plus members now, and some even better news for Adelaide Crow fans who are not here. If you're watching this back home, Brodie Smith up, and there's his dad. I mentioned he very rarely missed a Port Adelaide game in the 80s. He went to every one, and he has gone to most of Brodie Smith's games that Brodie Smith has been playing for the Adelaide Crows. So that's fantastic to see him and his father embracing there. It all looks okay.
That's right, and he's done pretty well, because he probably still gets the 3 votes, Brodie Smith. He's been knocked out, but he'll still get called out of the Brownlow medal, I would have thought, this year. And so it's good effort. He's a star. He's a real star, and he's one of a number of real A-grade talent Adelaide Crows have got.
You're a rat for him, aren't you? I mean, yeah, I'm a rat for him, but you're through the roof in your praise for him.
Yeah, I think he's really athletic. He runs well. He's pretty tall for a halfback flanker, and he kicks the ball like a bullet. He never misses a target. I think he makes really good decisions. He was All-Australian last year, so he's continued on that form at the start of this season. It's pretty exciting times at the Adelaide Crows, no doubts about that. Did play against an opponent who I think's unlikely to make the top 8, of course, so we must remember the opposition. However, they blew North Melbourne off the paddock last week, and they're a top 4 team from last season.
Well, Collingwood and Adelaide virtually finished in the same spot on the ladder last year, 10th and 11th. Collingwood would have aspirations of making the finals this year, no doubt about that.
They would, but not on today's performance. And the real problem is their ball use, and they've lost a lot of leadership in their back half, especially Maxwell and Lumumba going from there. Just some of their composure and their kicking skills bringing out from the back half, and it really carries on all throughout the game.
There's Adelaide's next 4. Melbourne, as I mentioned, it's a home game next week. And then the Bulldogs here, Port Adelaide, the big showdown in round 5, which is an Adelaide Crows home game, and then the Gold Coast at Metricon.
Yeah, it's going to be huge, that game, that round 5.
They're a shot to get to round 7 or so and be a 5-2 or 6-1, and from there you can launch into a really sharp end season.
Throw the cat amongst the pigeons. They beat Port Adelaide at the showdown in round 5. Let's listen to the song.
Yes, a margin in the end of just 27 points after the Magpies came home with a bit of a wet sail, kicking the last 5 goals, but an emphatic performance by the Adelaide Crows, and we're all really looking forward to round 5. As Dwayne said, the showdown. I don't know how many people are going to pack into the Adelaide Oval, but they may even get more than 53 or 54,000. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to take a break. Still lots more to come, though. And right after the break, back to wrap up the big clash between these two sides, the Crows and Collingwood.
You're watching Jeep Saturday Live on Fox.